Goeiedag, good day, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world.
I've been looking around for salvation. I've been looking around for the truth. All around me I see frustration, and I looked all over till I found you. I sit and listen to your stories, and you're telling me, please don't worry. Lot in this world you should know, and love in life is where you should go. If you're looking for somewhere to go, if you're looking for someone to know, if you're looking for someone to guide you, then love in life will guide you.
Goeiedag, I should say. Good evening, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And I'm sure you'll forgive you because here in Brisbane, Australia, it is good evening on Saturday. But be that what it is. And welcome to the Loving Life family, the very, very special part of our Loving Life community. Well, this morning we're going to be talking about the Ride to Freedom, which is hosting a protest against the new proposed firearm legislation on the 19th of June 2021. And we will, of course, be covering their protest in Cape Town in a few minutes. And this live stream could actually go for a few hours. Just be aware of that. Ride to Freedom has been issued a permit for the legal protest for its members to gather outside Parliament at approximately 1 p.m. today. Ride to Freedom's members will be at Parliament at this time. Let me show you a recent news release on the crazy law being introduced in South Africa that will remove the right of self-defense as a reason for having a gun license in a country that has one of the highest murder and crime rates in the world. I'm not making this shit up, it's true. Anyway, let's have a look at this press release. I'm going to run it through slowly so that when you watch it later you can freeze the frame and read the article. But here it is. No more guns for self-defense. Here's how the law could change for hunters too. A new legislative proposal will ban South Africans from getting gun licenses for the purpose of self-defense. And I'll just run this through very slowly. Speed readers will be able to read it, but those who watch it later, they can just freeze the frame and watch it later. Now, the final paragraph here to me is the most telling. The lawful purpose wording would also be scrapped, instead limiting hunters and sport shooters to using their guns only where it is safe to use the firearm. The intention appears to be preventing the use of a hobby handgun for self-defense. Now, let's remember that in Piet Retief at the moment, there are 4 white farmers who are defending themselves, who are now facing murder charges because these guys who trespassed on their farm and were threatening them, in fact fired shots at the farmers, were seen to be somehow the good guys. This is justice in South Africa. I'm going to say no more about it. I'm going to get Clinton on. We're going to start our discussion. Here we go. While we're waiting for Clinton, please remember to subscribe to Loving Life on YouTube and to register on lovinglifetv.com, the platform we are transitioning to. Clinton, how are you, buddy?
Yes. Good morning to you, Scott, and good morning from Cape Town. How are you?
It looks like a beautiful day in Cape Town.
Yes, beautiful day. I just want to change the camera around because I want to show all your viewers something beautiful. In the distance, there's Table Mountain.
Wow, this is the turnout so far.
Yes, I just want to see if I can zoom in there. Okay, unfortunately I can't, but there's Table Mountain in the background. Of course, McDonald's will be there.
I can see the McDonald's sign in the background. Yeah. Wow,
But
what
I'm
a
trying to
beautiful
show you
day.
Table Mountain.
What a perfect day to kick the ANC government up the arse, huh?
Yeah, no, really, Scott, you know this already quite a good turnout here. I'm just going to move over so you can see. So there's quite a big police entourage here.
Oh, really? How many police vehicles are
Yes,
there?
I'm going to quickly just...
take us around and show us the
I would
police
say...
vehicles.
Yeah, I'm going to do that for you.
Wow. Now, do they do this for the economic freedom fighter protests? Clinton?
No, well, no.
I've never
would go
seen
to
one
South
police
Africa.
vehicle outside a economic freedom fighters protest.
Just to name something.
Sorry, your signal broke up there. So how many police vehicles are there in total?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a big Nyala. 7, 8.
Now, the Nyala is to take up people they're going to arrest, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So they're
But
expecting
maybe,
to arrest
maybe
people.
they'll just... Yeah, I think maybe they just want to get some McDonald's breakfast, you know?
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope they leave this protest alone. Because Julius Malema is not
well,
at the
look,
head of
I
it.
have...
Carry on.
I have given the organizer, which is I've given the organizer Brent and Debbie. I've given them the right people. You know, I've got all those cell phone numbers of all the ministers and the Premier of the Western Cape. So if there's any problems today, they can call those people.
Fantastic. Well, I know you've got all the right numbers. Have you got Beck Esela's number as well?
Yes, you know I've got it.
Okay, fantastic. Because I've got it too, and I'm happy to read it out over the live stream if you need.
Well, let's just hope, Scott, that it's going to be a good day and that we will have... Yes, look here. Scott, there's Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Show me, thank you. Hey, Scott, how are you?
Good, buddy. Yourself?
Can you hear me? I'm good. It's a beautiful Cape Town day today. Perfect for a protest.
Absolutely. So, are you all set to cover this thing as well, Joe, are you?
Yeah, but I'm not doing it live. I'm gonna basically document and then upload short videos later.
Okay. Now, Joe, something I need to
Yeah.
talk to you about is I don't know if you know that Loving Life has a new platform which we're moving to, which is called lovinglifetv.com. And we've got about 20 contributing
Okay.
channels already on there, and they are basically covering South African news like you do. And why we're doing that is because we're hot full with the censorship going on at YouTube. So we've established this completely independent platform. Perhaps you can contact me at homestays@gmail.com, and we can have a chat about bringing your channel into the contributing channels, which would give you additional exposure, because we have a huge following. And what we're trying to do is to provide people with an option outside YouTube so they don't feel, compromised when they're covering something.
Sure, I will get in contact with you. It looks like I have to go now because they're gonna start driving off, but
I just like the hat.
rebelstoretoday.com.
Footsec ANC, I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, buddy. See ya.
Yes. Yeah, Scott, I will send Joe. I will send him your email address. I've got him on my WhatsApp.
Okay, fantastic. That's great. All right, so we're setting off, are we?
Okay. Well, look, we're just waiting for some more people to arrive.
Yeah.
Just showing you a basic outline. A lovely, lovely day in Cape Town, as you saw.
Now, which part of Cape Town are we in, Clinton? I know there's a McDonald's there, but can you give us, where is the fort, or are we near the fort, are we?
No, we're at N1 City at the mall at Goodwood, which is, it's about maybe 10, 15 kilometers from Cape Town. So that's where we are, just waiting for some more.
So you're not in
people
Cape
to
Town
get here.
itself yet. So you've got to get back in your cars and drive to Cape Town. Clinton? Okay, guys, we seem to have a little problem with the audio at the moment, but we got the video, so we'll just keep on watching what's happening here.
Yeah, can you hear me, Scott?
Now I can hear you. Yeah, that's better. Yeah. So
yeah, I said when we're on the N1, we will be showing your viewers live, so they can then follow us live on the N1 to Cape Town.
Fantastic. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. Now, is anyone here we can have a chat to and ask them why they're actually participating?
Yes, I'm going to hand over here to Tim. Tim is very vocal about today. Tim, Scott would like to talk to you. Can you just say hello to him? Let's just come out of the sun, if you can mind, just to stand there. This is very professional broadcast going on. Tim, you are here. Tell us why, please.
Well, the right to own guns isn't optional for us. The criminals are out there with R5 automatic carbines, with AK-47s. We have to defend our families somehow. When there's a shooting, when they invade our home or they attack our farm, what are we supposed to do? Because calling the police is not helping. We can see that. It's obvious. So what are we going to do? And owning a firearm is a way to protect yourself, protect your family, protect the public. An armed citizen is the difference between a citizen and a subject. If we are no longer armed, then we have no way to defend ourselves from criminals or the government.
Did you get that, Scott?
I absolutely did. And Tim, what I did before I actually crossed to Clinton was I actually displayed a news report where they referred to how ridiculous this new proposed gun law is to strip away the rights of self-defense.
Yeah. Well, if you look at it, most of the guns that are used in crimes by criminals are either purchased from the military or the police. Likewise, you can see in many attacks, especially armed robberies and farm attacks, you'll see they wear police body armor. So we are in a position where even if you can license a weapon for self-defense, in our country, you are only allowed to license one weapon for self-defense, and it can either be a handgun or a shotgun. neither of which can effectively penetrate police body armor. So if you are engaged by these people with armor, you effectively have no defense against them as it is. So what little you have to protect yourself, they are still trying to take away. And on top of that, they want to disarm the security companies, which is going to be even worse because many more people rely on security companies for protection than actually carry a gun. And they want to make it so that security company cannot own a semi-automatic carbine. Now, what that means is the criminals will still have AK-47s, they will still have R5s and R4 automatic carbines, and these people will be stuck with 38 special revolvers. Now, to anyone who knows anything about guns, a 38 revolver or something like that is 5 or 6 shots, then it takes a minute or two to reload, while these guys are pouring in automatic fire on these people and the police do nothing to help. I mean, you can watch the videos that circulate of people being assaulted in front of police. What are these CIP guys supposed to do? What are the guys at your security estate or even the guys who are your armed response supposed to do? If 10 guys are kicking down your door with AKs and the armed response show up, they are allowed to have a 38 special, and these guys are allowed to have automatic rifles. Yet you don't see a plan for having them have less automatic rifles. You see a shrug of the shoulders. Oh, well, we lost another 1,000 rifles. We lost another 1,000.
Sorry, guys, we've lost the audio again. Clinton, we've lost the audio.
Okay, can you hear us now?
Yeah, it's coming back again. Yeah. Sorry, carry on, Tim. Oh, no, now we've lost the audio again, Clinton.
Just get
Now it's back. Now it's back. Now the audio's back. I don't know what's going on, but we lose audio from time.
Okay, I'm going to change the camera around so that he's closer to the microphone.
Okay.
Stand this way. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go.
Yeah,
Okay.
as I was saying, most of the weapons that, if you look at the stats, are used to commit crimes are police and military weapons. And so what you end up with is a situation where there's no measures being taken to prevent police and military weapons from being used by criminals. They have a nice bill proposed to take away our guns, but where's the bill that's being proposed to take away the criminals' guns? There's no such bill, because the goal of this is to leave the criminals well armed with automatic weapons, while the civilians aren't even allowed to own an old revolver. And so if you look at the stats, there's about 10 security guards, 10 or 11 security guards for every single policeman in our country, which means that most people rely on security guards for their protection, not the police, because as is, the police are not able to do their job. Now, those security guards you want to disarm as part of this. That's the suggestion that the government is making. So what's going to end up happening is the civilians don't have guns, the security guards have revolvers, and the criminals have automatic machine guns. It's like Somalia or something. It's ridiculous. The question that we should be asking is, how do we prevent these people from getting automatic weapons from the military and the police? And what are we doing to actually keep them in jail if we catch them? Because what's happening at the moment is catch and release, So the police are failing in their job. And now they're blaming us for a problem that we can do nothing about. Because even if you have a gun for self-defense, you can look at cases like Peter Retief. If you shoot somebody in self-defense, you will be arrested. Yeah. Even if you are completely in the right. The right to self-defense is already being infringed so much. Now that last little bit, they want to take it away. This is not making it safer for the public. It's making it safer for criminals. This is about safety, the safety of violent armed criminals to safely rape and murder your family.
Yeah, look, I think the elephant in the room, as you correctly said, was that so many of these guns that criminals use originate from the South African Police Service and the Army. And I have had so many reports where police are actually renting out their guns over the weekend while they're off duty to criminals to go and actually perpetuate these crimes. And then they hand the guns back to the police, and it's all good because they've been paid. The whole system is completely cactus, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, there's no accountability for them. If we lose a firearm, we have to report it to the police, and we are never allowed to own a firearm again. If they lose a firearm, they're just issued another one. which they then promptly lose again, and so it goes. I mean, there's no license that's issued to them. There's no accountability. If a police officer loses his firearm, there's very little accountability there. And at the end of the day, that's where the problem is coming from. Because even if they do get a gun from a civilian, what are they usually getting from civilians? Old hunting rifles, old revolvers, guns from the early 1900s. These aren't the things that are being used to rob cash and transit vehicles. Yeah. These aren't the guns that are being used in home invasions. The guns that are primarily being used for that come directly from the military and the police. And you have to ask, at what point do the police start investigating their own people for helping these people? But the answer is never. So again, it comes back to things are going to be safer for the criminals who commit the crimes, including the police to help them, but it's definitely not going to be safer for the normal people who just want to live their lives and work for a living. So, this is basically law-abiding citizens versus the criminals and the people who like the criminals and want them to commit more crimes.
But can we expect anything else when you got someone like Bekele, who wears a hat like Al Capone, the infamous mafia guy in the United States of America, and who I call Schlaudi Mutzenang because I think his IQ is south of 60, and he's running the police service. I mean, what do you expect?
Yeah, I think Bekele isn't the idiot that people make him out to be. He's quite a clever guy. He's competent.
I would say job. Devious, quite a devious guy.
Misunderstand. Yes, exactly. People misunderstand what his job is. Because if you call the police and you say you're being attacked, they are unlikely to come help you. But if you call the police and you say, people try to break into my house and I just shot one of them, they will be there quite promptly.
Yeah.
The police are keeping people safe. They're keeping the criminals safe from law-abiding gun owners.
Yeah.
Because even if you do get a firearm in our country, what's often misunderstood is we aren't just given firearms. We don't go to the checkers and buy a gun. We have to apply for competency, which takes about 9 months, during which they speak with your family, your friends. They investigate you like you are some sort of criminal. Then if you are granted competency, not definitely you will, maybe if you can get a firearm license. Now that firearm license takes about a year, despite court orders that have ordered them to complete it in 4 months. So after a year and 9 months, you finally have a firearm. Now they say, well, you must go hand it in, even though you've paid a lot of money for that firearm. And so the point is they're already making it as difficult as possible. They don't make the license application process that long for no good reason. It's clear they can't administer it. Either they can't administer it or they don't want to, let me put it that way. And the blame is being put on us. But if you look at, for example, murder in our country, you have what, a 7 or 8% solve rate for murder? It's absolutely ridiculous. So, whether there's guns or not, people are going to kill each other. But let's be honest, there is going to be guns because the army is still going to be selling off its stockpiles of R4s and R5s, and so is the police.
And then
we taxpayers are going to pay for more guns for them. That's the irony, Scott.
Yeah.
Their armories don't empty because we buy new guns for them.
Yeah.
To give to the criminals. That's the big irony. We are being killed with guns that we pay for.
Well, what I found fascinating was a couple of weeks ago, the Freedom Front Plus went to the gun licensing office. And when they walked in there were piles of paper 6 feet high on desks that were gun license applications that hadn't been processed. And I said, look, there's a very simple way to sort this out. Just like the economic freedom fighters do. One petrol bomb would burn all those gun license applications, and they would have no clue who in South Africa had a gun It would solve the problem. People could just keep their guns and let them do what they like in Parliament. And I know that sounds anarchistic, but it's probably a bloody good response to sorting out this crap that they're trying to put to people.
Unfortunately, the sad truth is that our people are law-abiding.
I know. That is the problem.
No matter what they say, we will do it.
It's not a level playing field. What you've got, if I can put it this way, Tim, is you've got 2 teams. Let's say it's 2 rugby teams. One's playing to the rules, and the other one is just doing whatever the hell they like. That's what the problem is. And how can you beat that? You can't. So you've got to go to the lowest common denominator to fight back. But anyway, I know that's very hard for people to get their heads around. But the crazy side is that the police in South Africa are so complicit in the crime that's going on already. They're supposed to be preventing crime. And I'll give you an example. In KwaZulu-Natal, there are recorded examples of hitmen groups who go out and they take out someone politically. They have actually police on their payroll as part of the gang, and their job is to park. Their job is to park.
On Loving Life, we'll get to it. Thank you.
Their job is to park close to where the crime is going to happen, and of course, when the alert goes out that there's a crime, these police go to where the crime's being committed. And they completely stuff up everything. They destroy the evidence so that the hitmen can never get arrested. This is how corrupted the whole system in South Africa is.
Yeah, the thing is, often the police are themselves the people committing the crimes.
Yeah.
If you look at the law-abiding gun owners, they are now making out to be the scapegoat. Of all the demographics in South Africa, everybody commits crimes. But the people who commit the least crimes, the people you can trust the most with your personal safety, are licensed gun owners. It's a statistical fact that we commit less crimes than any other demographic, including the police. So if you have to put your life, your safety in someone's hands, you're probably better off putting it in the hands of someone who's licensed to carry a gun than the police, whom we give authority over people.
Yeah.
And if you look at what happens. There was this case last Saturday. A guy died in a shootout. 4 people tried to hijack him. He returned fire. And they were wearing police vests. You can look at the photographs. They were wearing police body armor that the police had provided to them.
And he took out 4 of them.
Exactly. He at least he fought back. But now you're stuck fighting with a pistol against people who have rifles. The bill that we should be looking at as a country isn't how can we take away what little firearms people have. The question should be how can we make firearm ownership more affordable so people in rural areas and townships can also afford to purchase guns. We should be looking at how can we make it so that civilians have guns that at least put them on an even playing field with criminals. And we should be looking at how security companies can be given more rights to operate in the place of the police. Because at this point, that's exactly what they are doing. They are functionally the police. We shouldn't be asking, can we disarm them? We should be asking, what can we do to arm them more? What can we as the public do to give the security companies more privileges? Because let's be honest, how often do you see security companies who help to rob and murder people the way the police do? Most of these private security companies are more responsible with the guns that they have. They actually have a register. If one of their people loses a gun, it's a huge deal and they get fired immediately. If a policeman loses a gun, another one gets issued to him. Yeah. So these people are way more accountable than the police are. Way more accountable. And that's a big part of this bill. And if you look at what Martin Hood said about it, he also explained it. Because they want to disarm these security companies. And that is probably the biggest thing. Because most South Africans rely on security companies to some degree for protection. Even if it's just to protect the checkers where they buy their stuff. So that security company will now be unarmed, or it will be armed with basically revolvers. And even that is tenuous because it was said that the police will decide whether they need to be armed. Now, the irony, of course, is that the police can't even decide where they need to catch the criminals or whether they themselves should be armed and how to not lose their firearms, but they want to decide for the private company. I mean, the whole point of capitalism is that you have people who are good at something do that thing. And security companies are proof that that works.
Yeah.
And now the whole security industry is basically being threatened because the police are blaming other people for their problems. And it's the same old story, always passing the buck.
And I just want to pick up on a couple of points here. And the first one is that when you say the guns that go missing, that the police lose, we're not talking about half a dozen. We're talking in the tens of thousands of guns that have been lost by police since 1994. Tens of thousands. And when we talk about bullets or rounds, we're talking millions of rounds that have gone missing through the South African Police Service. It's a huge scandal. But you know what it reflects, Tim? It really reflects the true nature of this corrupt gangster ANC government. That's what it does. It reflects the true nature. And I'd make this point that a lot of people don't realize is that the budget for the police has been reduced in the last budget paper by billions of rand, and yet those VIPs, which mean the ANC ministerial staff, the ANC politicians, the EFF, people like Julius Malema, now have increased security around them. They've actually increased the budget for their VIP security by 4 billion rand this financial year. So you've got like a two-caste system. You've got the super privileged ANC elite that have got as much security as they need, but the rest of the population is completely cactus because they are now beholden to these criminal gangs that are actually being given the guns by the very police service who's supposed to be defending them. It is crazy.
Exactly, and like you said, they are behind armed guards while the normal people are out on the street.
Well, Becky Seller's got 10 police around him the whole time with AK-47s or R4s or whatever. That's his security detail. That's the Minister of Police.
Yeah, he's always well protected, while the rest of the people are out on the street, and so it doesn't really affect him that much. But here's the even bigger thing, Scott. With this whole bill to confiscate firearms, it just clearly shows you the buck will always be passed. It'll never be the fault of the people who don't protect their own citizens. And you're entirely right. It's entirely reflective of a system where the people in charge in no way care about the people on the ground. In no way, shape, or form do they care. And so one of the biggest firearm owners in South Africa, if not the biggest, outside of the police and military, is in fact the ANC themselves.
Yeah.
The people who are now trying to strip us of our rights to bear arms have guns, lots of guns. The ANC as an organization is licensed to own tens of thousands of AK-47 carbines and pistols and so forth. They are well armed. They use an internal sign-in sheet which never gets audited. There's no information on how many of those guns have made it into criminal hands, but they were given that license by the old government, and they've had it ever since, and they've maintained it. So the ANC is in fact probably the biggest private gun owner in South Africa, bigger than any security company, but they won't be handing in their AKs. We'll be handing in our guns, all the law-abiding citizens, but they will still have AKs to give to their cronies to attack farms and murder people, sell to gangsters. No gangster wants to go and steal one revolver somewhere or one pistol somewhere. That's not how you arm a gang. And you can look at the manuscripts of all of the gangsters who wrote about it. They get it from the police because they can get guns 500, 1,000 at a time that they would never be able to get through civilian channels. So it's economical for them to buy from the police. And if you look at that colonel that got sent up now for selling to them, he sold what, 1,400 or something?
That was a white guy, wasn't it? That was a white guy, wasn't it?
Yes, it was a white guy.
And
he sold
I can't believe that a white guy would do something like that. That just shows how corruption is everywhere.
Exactly. He basically had the keys to an armory and decided to just let them in and let them have whatever they want. And they paid him millions for it. But here's the thing. He is going to jail, but is Becky Cele going to jail? Is any of the other people above him who are also responsible going to jail?
Of course not.
Are they making a new method to keep the police accountable? If a policeman loses his pistol today, what do they do about it? And there's no transparency to the public. The time when the public sees that the police have lost their guns is when the public is being shot with those guns. The police in no way tell people, we've lost guns, we've had this problem, but we are doing this to fix it. No, there's no we'll fix it. No, it's the other people. So that's the game plan. Blame the other people. And if Becky Chelly and his friend Cyril, they stand alongside people like Hitler, Mao, Pol Pot. Those are the men who advocated disarmament. Hitler disarmed his nation and proceeded to murder 8 or 9 million
That's
people.
when the genocide
Joseph
starts.
Stalin disarmed his
Exactly.
nation and proceeded. Exactly.
Yeah.
Once people are disarmed, the government are free to do anything to them. So you have to ask yourself, if the government doesn't want you to own a gun, why is that? Isn't it perhaps that they might be wanting to do something to you that you would usually shoot them for, and they don't want you to be able to do that?
Or defend yourself
Because
against them.
at the end of the day, it's their power. They say that they are anti-gun, but that's not true. They are very pro-gun. They pro their guns. They anti the guns in the hands of responsible citizens.
Yeah.
They are pro-gun. They will still have guns, and they'll be able to give it to whomever they want. And as we've seen for the past 27 years, the people they usually want to give guns to are the sorts of people who commit crimes and murder and rob people. I mean, it's very clear that most of these farm attacks are committed with police assistance. It's very clear that most home invasions are committed with police assistance. It's very often the case that either the police or the ANC's and Sizwe arm assists these people, at least by training and arming them. So this is, we're giving the people who have decided that criminals can have guns, our guns to give to criminals. Because that's the other thing. They take in firearms. But look at the rate of loss for guns that are handed in. Of all the guns that we hand in, most never make it to being destroyed. The police say they destroy them. But in reality, most of those guns make it into criminal hands. There's hundreds of reported cases where a crime is committed with a gun that was reportedly destroyed by the police. But in reality, that gun was just recirculated to a gangster, and the policeman got a fat wad of cash in his pocket.
Yeah. Look, the whole system is completely stuffed. It's like everything else the ANC touch. It's just completely corrupt. Now, Clinton.
Yes, wow, that was a very, very long conversation.
Now,
But thank you very much, Tim.
yeah, thank you so much, Tim, for chatting to us. Now, Clinton, are we going to drive into Cape Town now?
Yeah, well, look, while you were speaking to Tim, you guys have missed a lot, but I didn't want to interrupt him.
Yeah.
Scott, I didn't want to interrupt him, but you guys missed a lot. The police have left. I said the police have left, Scott.
Yeah.
I'm just going to quickly go over to Neil de Beer. Just hold on, please.
Oh, okay.
Is about debate and discussion. But when you walk out there and say kill, murder, this is wrong, it sets the wrong example. I'm open for that debate.
Would you like to just say to Neil de Beer that Scott says hello?
Okay, I'll do that, Scott. Scott, do you want to speak to Neil?
Yeah, let's have a quick chin wag with Neil, because he's been avoiding me for the last few weeks.
Okay. Okay, just hold on. Let me try to get in.
Yeah, sure.
Just busy with another media house quickly. He's just busy with another media house, Scott.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. We'll just pan around, show us what's happening. That's cool.
Sorry, Neil.
I know who you are, and I know the guy on the other side. You might currently not have it, but there's a love relationship. The difference is I love him, and he seems to continually want to hate me. But I threatened him. I am coming to his town. He will make me curry. He must make me curry. There's
we're pointing the wrong way. I can't see
attack
Neil.
on an individual.
Oh, there you are. Hi, Neil.
But,
Hi, Neil. How are you, buddy?
I'm not well when you.
I'm sorry, Neil. That you're breaking up. Neil, tell me what you think of the new gun laws.
Well, I firstly,
We're breaking up, Clinton. I can't hear a word.
Is not of South Africa. So I don't know this new gun law. I can just tell you, new gun laws are hard. Okay, it's as simple as that. The gun laws of this country is not new and will never be changed, Scott. We have the right to protect ourselves. I'm an ex-combative soldier. You're going to have to really do a lot to take my guns over.
Do you think you're going to stop them? Because they seem to be very, very determined.
We will. You know, Scott, if people have effort, if people have passion, and we are fighting not a bad thing, but for the righteous thing. You are a person, many times, even if we have disagreed, you have agreed with me that the light and right must shine, and the dark and the bad must be contested. This is not politics, Scott. This is about right and wrong.
I totally agree with you, Neil. And not only will you get some curry when you come to Brisbane, but you'll also get some nice 4X beer. It's the best beer in the world.
I'm waiting for the invitation for a couple of discussions with you again. I'm always ready, and I have a lot of love and respect for you, Scott.
All right, buddy. Good chatting to you.
Scott?
Yeah, Clinton.
I'm just going to turn the camera around.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Scott, can you hear me?
I can, yeah.
Okay, Scott, we just want to show you what's happening. Are they going now? I'm just going to keep it running so you can just show it to your viewers.
Yeah, fabulous. Yeah, we're
Thank
watching.
you, Neil. I'm just going to McDonald's for a bite. Look there in the background. You can see lovely Table Mountain right there.
Ah, yes, yes. I see the pipe has not been smoked today. It's no cloud on the top.
Yeah, and see, there was police here. They've gone now.
Yeah, I see that, and the Inyala's gone too.
I'm just gonna keep this rolling so that you can watch.
Yeah, okay, that's great, Clinton. Just keep on going. We're all watching you.
Okay, as you can see, the motorbikes are busy getting ready to go now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scott, it was nice to see Neil de Beer. You owe him a curry, eh?
Ah, and a couple of beers as well. But, you know,
yeah, no.
what I found interesting was that he said he's happy to come on live stream anytime on my channel. And we gave him an invitation weeks ago, and he said, we're thinking about it.
Yeah, look at this nice, the nice flags here.
Yeah, lovely. Ride to freedom. Fantastic. Fantastic. How many people do you think are there, Clinton?
How many people do you think is here? Scott is asking. How many people?
At the moment,
Maybe about
About 100?
Yeah.
About 100, Scott?
Well, that's a good starting point. Now, are these the organizers?
And another one, so we've got millions.
Sorry, Scott, what did you say?
Are these the organizers?
No, this is the lady that brought me through from Worcester.
Ah, yes, I recognize the lady at the front seat. Yeah.
Yes, and that is her husband, Mark, yes.
Ah, right, okay.
He's
Hi, Mark.
the organizers.
Ooh, I wish I was, and I would have.
So here we are seeing the motorbikes busy going. And there's even a DA flag. Wow, look at this, Scott, look at this.
What's that funny little thing? That's a tripod bike. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
I emailed you through the marriage, yeah. I was the one that sent the press release. Oh. I'm sitting with the driver's keys. They want to go.
Okay, let's go.
Oh, I hope I didn't lose.
We'll just tag along, Clinton.
Are you going to Parliament now?
Is that where it's heading up to?
Yes, to Parliament, yes. Sorry, Scott, what did you say?
Yeah, we'll just tag along.
Yeah, no, I'm getting in now.
Yeah, fantastic.
But I'm going to keep it rolling.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep it rolling so that we can keep your viewers up to date what's happening.
Fabulous. Absolutely perfect, mate.
That was one of the media houses. I'm very glad that Newsroom Africa is here.
Oh, okay.
They said they're covering it. They're going to Parliament now. They're going to... I just want to take the window down.
Yeah, that's better.
Let's hope that the phone doesn't fall out of the car.
No, we don't want that to happen.
Because then somebody is going to pick up my 17,000 contacts on my phone and be very happy.
Including Becky Saylor.
And then they're going to say, oh, but here's Cyril Ramaphosa's number. I said, if the phone falls out, and then somebody's going to pick up all my contacts on my phone.
Well, I tell you what, if they phone up Becky Saylor, he'll be saying, fresh air. We need fresh air.
You know what you can do? You can honk my horn.
Honk my horn, yeah, exactly.
So here we go, Scott. We're busy leaving now McDonald's N1 City Goodwood.
Yeah.
It's about, 50 kilometers to Cape Town.
Okay. All righty. Well, we'll just enjoy the view as you drive.
Yeah, lovely day in Cape Town. No wind, can you believe it?
Absolutely amazing. Now, just for those watching, as we drive, we might have problems with reception, but that's pretty typical in a moving car. So we might have to reconnect with Clinton at some time during this trip into Cape Town. Just be aware of that.
Oh, there's KFC, guys. Woo, KFC streetwise too.
Which one is the police so they can leave us alone?
Did you hear that, Scott?
What was that?
Did you hear that?
What? Now tell me.
Which? For the police so they can leave us alone.
The difference between us and the EFF is we buy our caps and t-shirts. They get theirs when the streetwise too.
Did you hear that, Scott?
Yeah, I did. I got it that time. Yeah. Now, okay, guys, this is
And
what
we'll
you.
give them a T-shirt that I love South Africa.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's McDonald's. Bye-bye, Cyril Ramaphosa's company.
Yeah.
one of his companies.
Yeah.
Thanks to Cyril for hosting us this morning.
Thank you, Cyril Ramaphosa. This is a disclaimer. We want to say thank you to Cyril Ramaphosa for hosting us. This is a disclaimer, please.
Anything I did at McDonald's this morning, I dropped my
Yeah, we will not tell your sensitive viewers what Mark just said.
You don't want to land up in front of the SAHRC, that's for sure.
there's a sign now that is saying N1 Cape Town. There your
There we
viewers can
go. Wow. Okay. You know, it's been what 10 years since I was in Cape Town. 10 years.
10 years.
It's
Yeah.
about time to visit, Scott.
It's about time to come visit, Scott.
Can you come to South Africa without getting arrested, Scott? Because we know they are too big on freedom of speech here. So
No,
you might have to check with them first.
the answer quite simply is no. And when I arrived at Oliver Tambo and I booked in through customs, I would be led away to a police cell. So I'm not coming to South Africa.
But fortunately, you are in Australia, and at
Yeah.
least you haven't forgotten your people. That is what's most important.
I will never forget our people.
But you know, Scott, the other point about guns that people don't often understand
Yeah.
is a firearm is a great equalizer. If you are a person of smaller stature or a lady or something like that, it's very hard to stand up to a man physically. And so what happens is a lot of people unfortunately end up very badly hurt, especially because the criminals usually aren't one man, they are usually 10. But a firearm is a great equalizer. One guy can stand up to 10 if he has a gun. And this is even more, profound for women. Because if you think about it, most of the people who are targeted in these home invasions and farm attacks, or many of them, are elderly people.
Exactly. The elderly are the prime target.
Exactly. And Scott, I'm now in the process of purchasing a handgun for my mother. She's 67.
Wow.
What does she have to do to defend herself against criminals? People like Adele Kirsten from Gun Free South Africa, who've never shot a firearm in their lives, will tell people that they can use pepper spray or some taser or something. We all know that doesn't work. If that worked so well, the police would have used it more.
Yeah.
And so we all know that doesn't work. So what is an elderly lady like my mom supposed to do now once Becky Shelley decides that she can't own a firearm? Because if 5 guys attack her, what is she going to do? Is she going to ask them nicely not to hit her? They either at that point she can have a firearm, or she can end up in the hospital dead. And Scott, the other point that people then often make about guns, because again, facts and statistics aren't considered as much as emotions are, is that a firearm is usually not discharged when used defensively.
Yeah.
Which is to say that most people who defend themselves with firearms never actually fire the firearm. The mere presence of the firearm is enough to discourage most criminals. And so that's why you often see, even if somebody is just reaching for a firearm, a criminal will discontinue an attack. Because the criminal is not a moron. He has spent his life around firearms. He understands how lethal they are. That's why he runs away when threatened with them. And so in that situation, where you would normally have an innocent person hurt, having a firearm can either have no one hurt, or it can have only the bad people hurt, which honestly isn't such a bad thing. We don't have a problem in our country of too many criminals being shot by law-abiding citizens. That's for sure. We have a problem of too many criminals running around and doing whatever they want. And so my point is this, people like Gun Free South Africa will proselytize to no end about about gender-based violence and how women are often the targets of violent attacks. Yet this would disarm those women. And if you look at female firearm groups like Girls on Fire, you will see that if you look at a man and a woman shooting side by side, there's very little difference. Women are as capable of shooting a firearm as a man. There are many talented female shooters that compete at the highest levels in shooting competitions. And so if both the man and the woman have a gun, things are much more equal than in a physical confrontation. And the criminals, of course, aren't stupid, because the level of danger also goes up immensely for them. And so this comes back to the point, it is about safety, it's about the criminal safety. But if it's not safe for the criminal, they would rather not commit the crime, which I think is a very good solution. But I don't think Becky Cele thinks that's such a good solution. I think he would like for them to commit the crime based on his actions. Because to think that he is too stupid to understand this is unreasonable. The man is clearly not, mentally retarded or something. He's quite capable of thinking for himself, and he has access to the same statistics that we do. I don't think it's that he doesn't understand. I think it's that he doesn't want to understand. He's in essence lying. It's often said, never attribute to malice what can be explained by stupidity.
Yeah.
But, as we've seen from that, he's more of a scallum gangster than he is stupid. I don't think in any way or shape or form is he really believing that this will solve the problem. It's completely unreasonable, and you can see even different political parties that wouldn't normally agree on anything agree on this. You see the DA, you see the UIM, you even see the Vryheidsfront Plus all agree on one topic. You have to ask yourself, why is it that there's only one political party that disagrees with it? It's just the ANC that feels that this is a good idea. And if you look at polls done among their voters, not even their voters support this. Because at the end of the day, this is about gun control, but it's not really the guns, because they'll still have guns. Their bodyguards and the people who commit crimes for them will still have guns, but it's about control. The part about gun control that's important isn't the gun part; it's the control part. And so they'll be able to control even their own people. I mean, at the end of the day, there's not a whole lot of other rational explanations for this.
Well,
quite frankly, insane behavior.
I guess the really defining difference, Tim, is if you look at pre-1994, there were very, very few illegal guns in private hands. And you look today, and I would say most guns in South Africa are illegally owned. Would you dispute that?
I completely agree. Most firearms are illegally owned, and I think in part that is due to making it so difficult to own firearms. I do believe there are good, decent people who own firearms illegally because they have no other method for getting a firearm for self-defense, and that in itself is completely unacceptable. Every possible effort should be made by the government to ensure that law-abiding citizens can legally own a firearm.
Yeah.
And what's done every time more gun control laws are passed is legal gun owners, people who've never committed a crime in their life, who've never stolen something, who've never hurt anyone, are now being criminalized. They are, in effect, with a stroke of a pen, criminalizing hundreds of thousands of decent, law-abiding citizens. And this is exactly what this bill will do, because this will put every law-abiding citizen either hand in their firearm and then proceed to be murdered by these thugs, or disobey the law and become a criminal.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you have to understand, some of the people who do own firearms illegally do so out of absolute necessity. I mean, if you live in a township, for example, owning a gun is difficult because you need to have a safe in your house. The fact is, most people in South Africa don't live in a house. Most people cannot afford a simple house. So where do they put the gun safe?
Yeah.
It's simple. They get an unlicensed firearm. But the fact is, these people still aren't the ones committing the crimes. The ones who commit the most violent crimes, the most of crimes, are a small group of people who are mostly gangsters and terrorists, and they do so mostly with government-owned firearms that have now made their way into their hands. And even when an AK is used, you know that the AK-47 was never issued by the South African Defence Force or the police. It was captured in small numbers in the Angolan conflict under the old government, but otherwise it was never used by South Africa. So those guns do not come from government hands. They come from Mkhonto weSizwe and PAC stockpiles.
Yeah.
From the Azanian People's Liberation Army stockpiles and Mkhonto weSizwe stockpiles. So the same weapons that were previously used to commit acts of terror are still being used. You see, in 1994, it was pitched to the whites that terror attacks would be discontinued, that the violence would stop as soon as they give control of the government to the ANC. They did so in good faith. Have those attacks stopped?
No.
Just as a legal matter, the ANC is still in possession of 10,000 of rifles legally, which is not to mention illegal stockpiles.
Yeah.
These AK-47s don't fall out the sky. They come from ANC stockpiles. But the ANC never explains that. It's really funny how if you, Scott, today came to South Africa and you were in possession of an illegal firearm, even if it was your grandfather's old Lee Enfield, you would be put in the slammer for a few years. But the ANC can freely be in possession of as many illegal firearms as they want to be and face no legal penalty for it. And that just shows you the laws aren't applied equally. For some people, even owning an illegal gun is a problem and they want to take that firearm away. But for other people, especially their cronies, nothing is off limits. They can do whatever they want and get away with it.
Yeah.
And it's like you say, that guy looks a bit like Al Capone, but he acts even more like Al Capone.
Well, I just make the point that he used to be the police commissioner and he got kicked out of that job because of corruption. And now he's the police minister. I mean, what does that say about the South African politics?
Well, look at most of these guys. They have rap sheets as long as you are.
It's a revolving chair syndrome. They move from one position to another.
Do you know what's the irony, Scott? Most of the people in our parliament can't legally own a firearm. Because in South Africa, if you have a criminal record, even something as minor as a traffic violation, you aren't allowed to own a firearm. So most of them can never be licensed gun owners because they have already committed too many crimes. The irony is that the people who commit the crimes and therefore aren't allowed to own guns are trying to take away the guns from the people who don't commit the crimes and therefore are allowed.
Yeah.
I think a system that they would perhaps find much more to their liking than the current one would be one where people who can prove that they have a criminal record are provided a firearm at the cost of the taxpayer, and those who can't prove that they have a criminal record are disarmed. It seems like that would be a bill that they would 100% support.
Well, that's a gangster state for you. That is South Africa under the ANC. But I tell you what I think is
exactly.
I tell you what I think is the saving grace, Clinton. I think the ANC are in a state of breakup. I think it's going to collapse, and I think during that complete anarchy wow, look at that image of Lion's Head. Wow, isn't it beautiful? And Table Mountain, absolutely stunning out there. But I think the ANC are in a state of collapse. They're totally fractured. I don't think they can. It's like a very, very ugly divorce. And I think that they're basically going to be history very shortly. The question is what happens when they do completely collapse, because you certainly don't want the economic freedom fighters coming in as a government. The Democratic Alliance are not much better. You've got to try and find a party that's actually going to pull the country together.
The irony, Scott, is that I don't really think there is such a party at this point, to be honest. And what political difference can you make? People like Neil de Beer are very hopeful for a new South Africa and all that stuff. But in reality, you can see election after election after election, these guys keep voting ANC with monotonous regularity. And now people say the ANC is losing political support. And yes, they are. Most of those political supporters are now voting EFF. They are moving further to the left on the political spectrum, not to the right. And so I don't really see a more unitary government coming into power. The best that I can see that people can do to at least live a semi-decent life is to have firearms, to have security companies, to try and be as independent from the government as possible. And you could even see this in the power grid. We are dependent on the government's power grid, and as a result, our power is switched off every day for a few hours. But the people who are independent from the government's power grid, who have solar panels or some solution like that, don't have that problem. We need to create parallel systems for the people who actually want to, sort themselves out and live in a decent, civilized country. Because the reality is, it seems to me that most people in our country don't want to live in a decent, civilized country because they keep voting for a party that makes it an indecent, uncivilized, barbaric hellhole that's more reminiscent of places like Somalia or South Sudan than it is of a civilized first world country as it once was.
Well, I think a lot of those people are waking up now, and hopefully they are. But I also just want to make the point that when we're talking about the future in South Africa, I think the very important outcomes from the local elections in August could give us a very clear indication as to how much support the ANC have at the moment, because I think it's dropping off really fast.
Scott, people have been saying that we will have political change for 27 years now. And nothing has changed. And the reality is that we now have a generation of people who are growing up in a world that is lost. The world of our predecessors, the world of the old government, where people had food and things worked and there was electricity, is a world that we've completely lost. And I don't think we're ever going to get it back completely. But the reality is that we are now stuck with a younger generation who are caught in between a rock and a hard place. Because when you go to find employment, there's 119 race-based laws to ensure that you can't find a job. When you go to use electricity, the electricity is off because Eskom can't build a functioning power station. When you want to buy a gun, it takes 2 years. Then once you have it, they still want to take it away from you. We have a generation of people that can basically, not get anywhere with this business. And we hope that it brings political change eventually, but at this point, it doesn't seem all that likely, And I think these separatists who want to separate off and have their own country do provide some options. Especially if you look at the DA,
can we not put it in Google Maps
in the Western Cape and
Tim, we're picking up other noises in the car. While that's happening, I just want to let people know that we're on the way to the point where you're going to be gathering for the protest outside the Parliament in Cape Town. That's where we're actually going right now. Okay, now please carry on, Tim. Sorry, Tim.
Yeah. So as I was saying, we have a generation of young people that are basically stuck, and without a way out. And if you look at the Western Cape, just look today. The police were here, but there was no violence from their side so far. It's a completely different world. Some of the police came over and signed our petitions. The police here are still to some degree on the side of the citizen. But if we did the same rally that we are doing here today in Gauteng, the police would probably be busy attacking us, trying to threaten us. It's a different world in between the different provinces. And so the thing that I would just point out to you is if we can have at least some sort of a moderate government in the Western Cape, that already make things better. But the split in our country is between the people who want to live a decent life and the people who don't.
We get lost.
And right now, the people who don't want to live a decent life are trying to disarm the people who do want to live a decent life. And this is not an isolated event. It's not happening in a vacuum.
I think the people who are actually causing all the shit are the ANC and the cadres, because they are looting the country to its very core. They're just destroying everything.
They're destroying our future.
Yeah, absolutely.
But here's the thing, Scott. Do you really think that this bill is unrelated to the firearms, the land expropriation? the bill that's now going through that seems to threaten religious freedom to a large extent. These things aren't unrelated. There's a direct link between disarming people and taking their property.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what every tyrannical regime before these nutcases did. People like Stalin and Mao first got people to hand in their firearms.
What about the Nazis?
They started exactly. Well, they took it one step further with the whole death camp thing. I don't think these people are clever enough for death camps. But if you look at things like Rwanda, a few machetes and a week later there's 1 million people dead.
Yeah,
so
it's awful.
you don't want to be without a firearm in that situation.
Tim, I've got a very relevant question from Fiona. She says, "Who is Tim? Who's the guy talking? Tell us a bit about yourself, because you're dominating the conversation here. So tell us a bit about yourself."
I would use a phrase I would borrow from the Americans. I'm just another dumbass civilian. I'm just another ordinary citizen, just like all the other people who just wants to have a life.
We're training
and I think I speak for most people. The reason that we come to these rallies, the reason that we are part of groups like Phoenix, the reason that we come to all of these things is because we don't see another option for a future. We don't give up our weekends to train, to come to protests, to participate in the political process and to arm and defend ourselves, because we have nothing better to do. We give up our time because what other option do we have? There is nothing else for us to do. And this is perhaps not always as apparent to the older generation who have already had an opportunity to create some wealth under the previous system.
Yeah.
For the younger generation, what opportunity do we have? Most of us will never, ever own. Some people can afford it. Most of us are lucky if we ever even own a car. It's realistically a dead-end country. So what can we do besides try and change things? But the sad irony is that when we try and change things through the political process, we have no voice because we are white. We're a small minority. And so, what we have here is a system that's more akin to Nazi Germany than it is akin to a modern democracy, because you have a vast majority of people who blame all their problems on a small minority. And unfortunately, as much as we would love to, we can't change our skin color. There's no amount of shoe polish that's going to get me a job under triple BEE.
Can you imagine how many black cans you'd have to go through in a year?
and unfortunately, that's the same reality for everyone else. But I'm just another guy. I'm just out here hoping things will get better for us, hoping they won't take our... we don't want to fight them. We don't want to have problems with them. We want them to be reasonable. That's what it comes down to.
I think the big thing is, I think the big thing is, Tim, that they've got to forget about apartheid, and they've got to forgive Jan van Riebeck, okay? Because whenever the shit hits the fan, Ramaphosa gets up there and blames apartheid or blames Jan van Riebeck. It's about time they started being a bit introspective and looking at their own actions. I think that's a big issue.
The thing is, if they stop blaming those people, what's left to blame? At the end of the day, they have a philosophy where personal responsibility isn't a part of it. So they are not going to take responsibility for it. Somebody else has to. It's always someone else's fault.
Well, now they got COVID-19 they can blame. That's a new whipping boy.
And and they look like they're pivoting towards a different group. This is just what gun owners are. We're the new Jan van Riebeck. And unfortunately, old Jan is taking a day off, and now we're the scapegoat. And that's what's going to keep happening. There's always going to be a small group of people, even though gun owners are a relatively large group of people, but a minority of the country, that the government can blame things on. And so that's a pattern of every tyrannical regime. No tyrannical regime ever says, well, we made a mistake, but we're going to blame these people. They say, no, these people did something wrong. It's all their fault. All of your problems aren't your problems. They're not our fault. They're these people's fault. And so we're going to do this, that, and the third thing to these people to punish them. And that's what BE and all these things are about. That's what the gun control laws are about. It's about punishing a small group of people for the sins of the people in charge. You know, because otherwise they might have to take some punishment. And let's be honest, that's not going to happen. Even if they get convicted, they get out of jail as quick as they go in.
Now, Tim, I'm going to put a hypothetical scenario to you. Okay, let's say they bring in this law which outlaws having guns for self-defense. And maybe a year down the track, they say, okay, we're now going to actually go into everybody, that they actually go home to home in suburbs with a search warrant to go and look in your gun safe and stuff like that to see if you've got a gun, and they start arresting people for having an illegal gun because you can no longer have it under the license that you used to have it. Well, how's that going to impact South Africa if that starts happening, where the police start going into homes and actually searching?
Point we will, look, Scott, at that point we will basically have two options. One will be to fight, which is not an option that we would like. But what other choice? The choice would simply be to roll over and die, and it wouldn't be just us dying; it would be our families as well. But here's the point: if they can go into our houses and search them for guns, why is it that they can't do the same for the criminals? The police in South Africa have extensive police powers. They have extensive powers to search your residence. It's not like the USA, where there's an amendment that protects you from illegal searches. The police here can easily, even without a warrant, but usually with a warrant, which they obtain quite easily, search your residence.
Yeah.
There's no reason why they can't do that for criminals. And we talk about this like it's a hypothetical. It's not a hypothetical. People are already being arrested for being in possession of guns that the license expired or something like that. If the police have a political beef with someone, if the ruling party, that is, have a political beef with someone, they proceed to find an excuse like that to arrest that person. And so it's not a hypothetical. It's already happening. But they won't do the same for the criminal because the criminal does not threaten them. We've seen a number of people arrested like that for supposed possession of an illegal firearm. Scott, did you know if you have an old 22 round that's from your grandfather's old 22 and it's lying in the back of your cupboard, and the police come to your house and they search your house and they find that round, they can then charge you with illegal possession of ammunition, which I think carries something like a 5-year prison sentence.
Wow.
So that's how strict our gun control laws already are. You know another thing, Scott? We aren't allowed to openly carry guns. So we have to carry our guns concealed. And what that means is that if we are operating as a unit like neighborhood watches do, that means that our guns need to be covered. While the criminals openly carry their guns. It comes back to the same thing. We are hampered by obeying the law. It's not a level playing field. Yet despite this playing field not being level, we still manage to win more often than not. Most people who try and defend themselves with firearms are overwhelmingly successful. And so they can't have that. That's the problem. They can't have it. So my point is just to say this. We already have some of the strictest gun control laws in the world. It's not like we are handing out firearms like Smarties, It's a difficult process to license it. There's so many rules. For another one, for example, people who have a self-defense license are only allowed 200 rounds of ammunition, which sounds like a lot, but if you go and shoot at the range, especially in a competition, you will usually end up shooting more than that, especially if you go to like a course for security training or tactical training. You will shoot often more than 200 rounds.
Yeah.
And so we already have these limitations, this framework, and yet we religiously obey that framework to a fault, but it's still not enough. It's never enough. There's still more freedom that needs to be taken. What can you do? But I got it off the top.
Well, you wonder whether those freedoms are going to stop being taken from people. And
I don't think they're ever going to stop being taken until we're all dead.
now, where are we in Cape Town right now?
This is about the District 6 Zonnebloem area. I think we got a bit lost, but we got it on the GPS.
Oh, okay. So are we kind of circling around the gardens area, are we?
Yeah, no, we're circling around. Oh, yes, even some tents and all.
Time is never wasted on reconnaissance, Scott.
Oh, did you hear that, Scott?
I did. Very smart answer. Very clever. You're looking for police cars, are you?
Well, we hope this is this the right place?
This is it. This is the box.
Oh, we finally found it. I finally found what I'm looking for.
Yeah, but the absolute squatter camp.
Oh, yeah, by the squatters camp. Oh, my goodness.
They sponsored them a tent.
They sponsored them a tent. Avis gave them a tent.
Yeah.
Is this near the
Beautiful,
Union?
beautiful.
Is this near Parliament?
No, we're still about two kilometers from Parliament.
Are you going to walk there, are you?
I think we are going to go, Scott, as far as I know, in one, convoy.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because there's some. Are we going to walk? Oh, okay, we're going to walk. Sorry. Did you hear that, Scott?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah. A lovely day in Cape Town. This is now a Zonnebloem area.
Is this a white squatter camp or an African squatter camp in front of you?
An African.
Okay.
Lovely view that they've got.
Yeah, but when I saw tents, I thought it would be the white squatter camp, but
I'm just trying to get your viewers a little better picture here of Table Mountain. There it is.
wow, over that building, over the top of that building, yeah.
Mm.
What's it? This is a
Oh.
horse truck, is it?
A law enforcement truck here.
Yeah, it looked like a horse one. Horse carriage.
No, it's not a horse one.
Oh, no, it isn't. Definitely not. No, okay. Yeah.
Scott, do you want to speak to Tim again?
Oh, yeah, or we can speak to other people as well, just find out why they're there, what they think.
Okay, we'll do that. Hello. All right. Scott from Loving Life is live. He just wants to ask why you guys are here. If you can just tell him just quickly why you are here, please. Scott, here we go.
Hi, how are you?
Daniel. I'm well, and you, man?
Excellent, mate. What's your name?
My name is Daniel.
Hi, Daniel. Now, Daniel, why are you here? What are your thoughts about these new gun laws?
So here's the thing, Scott. My primary concern is that given the reality which we face now in South Africa, where people are being victimized and exploited, people are unemployed, we really have a situation whereby one of the fundamental rights is the right to defend yourself. So how can we then have a situation whereby people are telling us we're not allowed to have guns in order to defend ourselves? So my thing is, if the criminals have guns and we as citizens can't have guns, isn't that just a setup to make the whole situation even worse? So I'm here today to voice my support to what I believe that it's a fundamental right for anyone to defend themselves, and an important part of it is the right to bear arms.
Absolutely. And are you living in Cape Town?
Absolutely. I live in Cape Town. I live. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Cape Town, but I live in a place called close to Philippi, Mitchell's Plain.
Oh yes, absolutely. Now, have you had problems with gangs there?
You know, I'm cautious not to. Whenever we quote Cape Town, we speak about gangs. So I don't want to always go down that road. But my fundamental concern is simply one of. He's just left me with the camera. Is one of that we have law-abiding people in our country.
Yeah.
Whom the police have made it very clear that they cannot fulfill their mandate. And if you got a situation whereby the mandate of the police cannot be fulfilled, and then people should have a means, rightfully, legally, constitutionally, in order to defend themselves. And alongside that is the right to bear arms. What must I then do? What must people do? Call the police and wait, or have the right to at least push back against and say, this is wrong? We must have the right to defend ourselves.
Exactly. And I have to say, you know, to the Loving Life family and people watching, this is one area that I totally respect Neil de Beer, because he goes out most nights with the police and is part of the group who are actually fighting back against these gangs in Cape Town, which I think is a very positive thing.
I just want to touch on that also. The challenges facing the Cape Flats is historic. It's social, political, and it's deep. And I don't want to simplify that.
Yeah.
So that on itself is a whole conversation on its own. There's a lot of good people caught in a very bad situation, but you're not helping by removing guns from legal people, from citizens who all they want to do is live peacefully and defend themselves and their families.
Yeah, exactly. Tell me a bit about your background, your parents. Are they from Cape Town? What tell me about that.
I'm standing at ground zero of where my family was forcefully removed, District 6.
Okay. How long? That was back under apartheid, wasn't it?
Correct. Am I giving my age away?
Well, you would be in your 40s, wouldn't you?
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah. You see, I'm pretty smart when it comes to sussing things out. So your parents were turfed out of District 6.
Correct. So we're standing just opposite Noah Street now, very historic, very important part of Cape Town when it comes to the forced removals and the history of South Africa. So it's actually bittersweet to meet here and then march from here to Parliament to address this very important issue.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, thank you so much for talking to us.
No, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, is Clinton come back, or is he still disappeared?
I'll pass this thing. Take care. All the best.
Okay, take care, mate.
Yeah, there we go, Scott. I want to show your viewers here quickly.
Yeah.
Give me a second. Look at this lovely view here.
I'm looking at your head. Oh, that's better. Oh, wow, look at that. Oh, so Table Mountain is on our right. What's that on our left?
That's Devil's Peak.
Devil's Peak. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, there is Signal Hill.
Yeah, and Lion's Head.
Lion's Head, yes. Sorry, that's Lion's Head. There's Signal Hill there.
Oh, look, I love Cape Town.
Yeah, there we go. That is Lion's Head. There's Signal Hill in the distance.
Yeah. Now, just at the bottom of Signal Hill is where Ramaphosa is having his 16 million rand house built.
Oh, yeah, no, well, it's nice to be a president, eh?
Yeah, well, it's nice when you just get these cushy BBBEE share deals, isn't it?
You know, Scott, I was saying to Tim, I'm glad that he came with us because he's very informative. He's got,
absolutely.
You guys were having a very good chat.
Yeah, look, people following loved what he had to say, and there were some very positive comments there.
Yeah, if I can ask, Scott, do you know how many people are now online? Have we had quite a lot of people online?
We've got about between 250 and 300 on at the moment, because we're actually crossing not just to YouTube, but also through Loving Life TV. We've got a bunch of people on lovinglifetv.com as well, who wouldn't actually reflect on the numbers on YouTube because it's coming through as a redirect. So yeah, we got a good crowd here.
Yeah, and look at the lovely motorbikes here. You see, this is what Father Christmas owes me. Beautiful.
Have you got a motorbike, Clinton?
No. Unfortunately not. Look, remember, I live in George. It's about 400 kilometers from here.
Yeah.
And Tim's friend, Sean, I'm just going to see if I can hear Sean. Here is Sean. Say hello, Sean.
Hi, Sean. How are you, buddy?
Can't complain.
Yeah,
Is
you see, Sean lives in George and Tim, so I came through with them. That's why I was able to do the broadcast for you today.
right. Oh, that's great. Well, we're very thankful to Sean for doing that for us.
Yeah, no, he drove. It's about 4 hours drive from here.
Yeah. So what's our next step from here, Clinton? So it's a walk to Parliament House, isn't it?
Yes, we're just waiting for the rest of the people to get here. Here's Neil De Beer, your friend that you owe your curry to.
Looks like he's chatting someone up. We better not disturb him.
And we've got some law enforcement here, but it's not SAPS. It is just Metro Police.
Okay.
I wonder, should I tell them that I know Dan Plato, the mayor of Cape Town? And I've got his number. And I got his number.
Tell me, whose number don't you have?
Yeah, no, that's a good one. I would say the mayor of Bloemfontein. Yeah, but I can get it.
I bet you can. Wow, look,
Scott, it's a beautiful day here. Really lovely day in Cape Town.
You know what was one of the highlights of my live streams was about 6 months ago, was publishing the private phone numbers of Ramaphosa and Dlamini Zuma and Bekele.
Yes, I remember that day. Oh, there we go. Yes, do you remember that day, Scott? We were in Pretoria, and then you said, "Are you ready now for Bekele's number?"
Yes, I just gave it out.
And we've got some motorbikes arriving here.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Wow. What is this area called?
Zonnebloem.
Zonnebloem, because it used to be District 6.
Yeah, District 6 is more that way.
Oh, okay.
And if you look out that way, that's Cape Town CBD. Parliament is that way.
Okay, so that's where we're walking, that way.
Yes.
Now, just as a bit of a history lesson for those who aren't from South Africa, what we're looking at when we point this way is where the first settlers came to when they came to Cape Town. And there's an area there called the Gardens, which I've actually got one of the title deeds for one of the original gardens, Clinton, the original document.
Oh, wow.
And
yeah, now Gardens is this way, north, towards Table Mountain.
But the Parliament is in the Gardens, isn't it?
Yes, I'm fine. Yeah. Oh no, hold on. We need the power bank. Yeah.
Power bank.
No, we got a power bank. Sorry, I'm just getting a power bank.
Yeah. Okay.
Quickly, just in case the power goes.
Yeah, no problems. Go ahead.
This is very exciting, dramatic stuff happening here.
It's live. This is what happens when you go live. You just take the good with the bad.
Yeah, no. Maybe can you just check if it's all in there? Your power bank also.
Yeah.
Okay. And I just want to check it's the right cable, because that one is the thin one. And this one is it's this cable. Okay, we got the power bank. We're fine.
Okay, fantastic.
Oh, are we driving there?
Ah.
Okay, it seems that we are driving there now.
Okay.
Oh, you want it's Loving Live TV. Sorry, just helping you, Scott. It's lovinglivetv.com.
That's exactly right, yeah. And it's lovinglivetv, one word.com.
I just want to see if it works for this gentleman. It was the gentleman that you spoke to from Philippi, Mitchell's Plain.
Oh, okay.
And then if
cool.
Down, then you can watch us. Sorry.
Hold up.
I'm holding the keys. Yeah, you know, Scott, that's how it goes, eh?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Okay, Scott, it seems that we are we driving down there now?
Yes.
Okay, we are driving there. We're not walking anymore.
What a beautiful day.
Oh,
I've just got to say, I would love to be there in Cape Town right now. It just looks so
oh
beautiful.
yes, it's really beautiful.
Yeah,
And you know, normally this area gets very bad wind.
yeah. And it's so still. The branches aren't moving.
Yeah, no, and we're not very far from the sea, you know.
Hmm.
Okay, thank you.
Daar's nog 'n baie.
And here's Tim back on.
Hi, Tim. Are you ready for chapter 3,
Come,
Tim?
Tim, come, give us a nice chat, Tim. Come on now.
Tim, are you ready for chapter 3?
I mean, was chapter 1 and 2 any good?
Look, people loved it. Loved it. Now, Tim, what do you think the ramifications of this law passing will be?
Look, if they sign this into law, I honestly don't really see, what we can do, to be honest. Because I'm sure some people will obey this law, and in the past we've always complied, and I hesitate to say something on stream that.
Do you think this is the Rubicon, though, that people will say, this is a step too far, and they won't comply?
You know, I can't speak, Scott, for all the other people. I can only speak for myself. But I can tell you that I personally am not handing in anything. I don't care what they say. I don't want to hear a story. I don't want to hear an excuse. I'm not handing in anything. Because the only reason that they don't murder more of us is because there are people who shoot back.
Yeah.
So if I hand in my firearm, I might as well take it and kill myself and my family. There's no difference. I am effectively condemning the people that I would otherwise defend to death, and I won't do that. So I won't be handing it in. And I think I speak for a lot of decent law-abiding South Africans when I say that. Because it's one thing to obey a law that has a basis in reality that's designed to reduce crime. It's a different thing to obey a law. You know, if they made a law tomorrow that all the whites in the country or one particular group, all the gun owners should just commit suicide, would all of us gun owners do it just because it's the law? You know, it beggars belief that they would expect that of us. But if they do, I don't think people will comply with it. You know, people have a survival instinct. They want to live. So all that will happen is there will be more illegal guns in the hands of people. You know, there will be problems related to that, that I think we are yet to see. Because remember, right now, people who own guns feel that they are accountable. If you make it basically illegal, people will still own it, but they'll have no accountability. They won't feel that they have to stick to the rules. And so, you know, I would say if this goes through, we seriously need to look at taking some sort of action, whether it's to create a court start for our people, a separate state for our people, or whether it's somehow to stand together to stop these guys. I don't know, but I think rallies like these, where you see people from diverse political views coming together for the common good, is a good start to it. And it's these politicians who now say that they will defend our rights, stand with us. I don't see that this law is passing. Because the ANC, as much as they would like to think that they are in charge of everything, can only push people so far. And right now, this stuff isn't about the Lani fat cats in the government. This is about the normal people, the John Does of the world, the normal average civilians who do nothing but go to work and try and look after their family. And yeah, like Sean says, John Q. Public, you know, we are the people who are now being pressed. And so if we push back, there's a lot more of us than there are of them. And they have their police, they have their military, but there's a lot more of us. And I think that's why they want to disarm us, because they're afraid that if they keep pushing us, if they keep having us murdered, if they keep stealing our money, eventually we are going to grow tired of it. And so there's nothing that terrifies a tyrant more than an armed and educated populace.
Yeah.
And that's why they try and ensure that the populace is uneducated and disarmed. And I don't think that's working out very well for them. The fact that we are together here, the fact that we are talking to you in a different country, just shows that. As long as the word is getting out, I think things can change. And as long as we have support from overseas and pressure that we can bring, I think things will change. Good.
Okay. Now we've gone to portrait mode. We need to go back to landscape. There you go. That's better. That's better. You've got a great mobile phone. It automatically switches. I've had so many problems with people who've got. Oh wow! Look at that view, guys. Oh wow. Now.
No, Scott. I wanted to show you. It seems that we're at another parking area now.
Yeah.
It looks like
we are
now going to. Yes, I'm thinking we're going to walk from here, if I'm correct.
Yeah. How far are we now from the Parliament?
I would say about 1 kilometer.
Okay. Now, where you're pointing right now is where the cable car is, right on the right-hand side of Table Mountain. Was it damaged by the fire?
Was the cable car damaged by the fire, Tim? I don't think so. As far as I know, no.
Well, that's a relief.
Because look, the fires was here.
Yeah, you can see it's all
more
black.
This side.
Yeah.
Yes, more that side.
Wow.
It didn't really come here. It was more that side.
It must have been devastating for the wildlife.
And also all that wind. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we're just showing you a nice view here of the big parking lot.
And I see there's some police cars there as well.
You're not allowed to have more than 100 people together. So this is the first 100. But as long as we gather in separate groups, there's no upper limit. And so this is just the first group.
Okay.
So hopefully we will have a number of groups, but we have to try and keep within the rules. And so the organizers did inform everyone to maintain COVID regulations and all that stuff. So they are attempting to comply with the law as far as is humanly possible.
I'm surprised you guys don't have to wear masks.
We are supposed to.
Well, we are supposed to.
Most of the people are wearing masks.
There's my mask.
Even though we are out in the fresh air, there's no possibility of any problem.
Yeah, no, and please don't forget to close the beach, because on the beach you're going to get the virus.
Yeah. Well, I just have to say, just talking about COVID, that one of our family members, Marlena, is currently having vitamins actually injected into her. She's got COVID very badly, and hopefully she'll be fine soon. But from 9 a.m. this morning to midday South African time, they were going to be injecting her with vitamins to boost up her immune system. And COVID-19 is a very real issue. It is a real thing. The question right now is, where did it originate? That's the elephant in the room, and more people are realizing that is the big question.
Yeah, Scott, you're saying that COVID is a real thing, but does that give the government the right to implement a lockdown and take people's liberties away because of a virus? I don't think so.
No, of course it doesn't.
And look where we are now. Of this gun whole freedom thing that we're doing today is also intertwined with end lockdown, because why do they now come up with it? To take people's liberties away, the same as what they were doing with this COVID-19 lockdown.
Yeah.
It's always freedom that's lost in the name of safety.
Yeah.
Did you get that?
Yeah, freedom lost in the name of safety.
But Scott, I don't know if your viewers are aware, as far as I know, it's day 481 now of the lockdown in South Africa.
It's crazy.
481.
It's crazy. I mean, they're absolutely massacring the economy. They've destroyed it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, but you see now we are currently in level 3 in South Africa.
Yeah.
We're on level 3, but practically everything is open. I mean, your restaurants is open, your casinos, the beaches, the parks, everything is open. But what about the people that have lost their jobs and companies when we started with level 5? They can't get their company back again.
Yeah. Well, look, I actually recorded a video clip, which I might put up on lovinglifetv.com in the next day or two, where Ramaphosa is talking in a private Zoom meeting with the NEC, and he says, we need to boost the COVID figures so we can extend the lockdown. He actually says that in the Zoom meeting.
Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And then the other thing what I wanted to tell your viewers is, you know, they also took away that 350 basic income grant. And then I've still got that email which I need to send to you, where Ramaphosa's office said you can live on 350 a month.
That's 350 rand.
350 rand.
That's about 30 Australian dollars a month, or about 25 US dollars a month. That's less than $1
now
a
can
day.
you live on 25 US dollars a month?
Of course you can't.
Yeah, but you see the whole thing of this lockdown. What I wanted to say to you, so we're on day 480 now of the lockdown. So many things are open. Yes, businesses are open, but what about a lot of businesses and festivals that are now festivals? I was running an event company. You know, I've spoken to you many times before. You can't do festivals and events. You can actually forget. There will never be festivals and events again. That's as far as I believe.
Wow. Well, look, I had a jamming session last night with Crystal and Garnet, and two beautiful young ladies, and both singers, and they were saying that their profession is dead. They can't go out there and perform. It's dead. You know, musicians all over South Africa are in the same position.
Okay, we are getting ready here now to go to Parliament.
Who are these
please
people
just keep following us.
Who are these people in the yellow jackets? Are they police, or are they just
No. They are marshals. The organizer has arranged them.
Right. Okay. Okay, let's see it happen. Here we go.
I'm just going to ask them to be close to me for the power bank, if it's because I don't want us to run out of power.
Yeah, you've got to be in the same group as they are. Oh, look at this car!
Yes.
Wow, whose car is this one? That's pretty cool. Stop Plus Motor.
It's Debbie Els.
Oh, okay.
Where's Tim now? Oh, yes, Tim. Because we need constant power. There's no load shedding here. Are you guys ready?
Yes, of course.
Okay, guys, we're just about to take off for the walk to where the protest is going to be held outside Parliament. Right to freedom. Hi, Mark. On the side chat, I see we've got a growing number of people in the Super Brew competition on lovinglifetv.com. Wow. My odds of winning those big hampers is getting smaller and smaller by the minute.
I'm just showing you a view of how big the
group is.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just zoom out a little bit here.
It's certainly starting to build. That's for sure.
Yes. Tim, how many people do you think is here approximately? It's about at least 100.
Yeah, I would say about 100.
Yeah, it's about 100.
Plus about 30 or 40 cops.
Plus 30 or 40 cops.
So the cops gonna make the number over 100, so they'll have to go and just join another group.
They are doing a good job of boosting our numbers.
Yeah, I just want to say, Scott, that the media is here, and it looks like Newsroom Africa, which is good that they
Yeah.
at least have read the emails that I sent them when I sent the press release out.
That's great. But you won't find Anchor or SATV there, or SABC or whatever they call themselves. Yeah.
No, I haven't seen SABC or ENCA News here.
Yeah, or News 24.
Oh, yeah, no, well, we'll leave it just at that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Because I know Adrian Basson of News 24, but yeah, where is his reporters?
Yeah, well, they're all part of the mainstream media. Fake news. They don't want to cover this.
As you see, we've got the police escort here.
Okay.
Heavily armed police escort
Yes,
with armored vehicles.
Yes, please listen what Tim said. Heavily armed.
Well, what have they got? AK-47s, have they?
Have they got AK-47s?
No, they've just got their standard sidearms, but they brought out all the armored vehicles for us.
Armored vehicles? That's crazy. All right, I think we're going, guys.
Just keep connected to us.
Okay,
I
we're
must
marching
say,
towards
MTN
Parliament.
signal is very good here.
It is. It's fantastic. Yeah, I'm very impressed.
Yeah,
and even when you drove, it was good.
Yeah, it didn't break up.
Now, just for the people watching, we've got about 300 people watching now. It's growing slowly. For the people watching, the actual speeches at Parliament start at about 1 o'clock, don't they?
Yes, yes.
And we'll be covering the event till about 2 o'clock South African time in the afternoon.
Yes, yes. Yeah, no, it's a very, very good turnout.
Yeah, that's great. That's really cool. And it's it's nice to see a representative group. There are people from all colours who are there, who are obviously concerned about what's happening.
Yeah,
It's funny how this group has diversity, racial, political, people from different viewpoints.
Yeah.
And it's funny how Benny Shelley and his friends all look the same and think exactly the same. That should tell you something.
Well, they're the ANC elite, aren't they?
Well, you know, it's like the people of the mafia. You know, they got to stick together.
Yeah.
We have the guys from UIM here. We have the guys from the DA here. The Vryheidsfront Plus so far are conspicuous in their absence.
Who, Freedom Front?
Yes, we see none of their people here, which is unfortunate.
That is very unfortunate.
We would have hoped that they would have pitched up, but you know, it is what it is.
but I think, Tim, if we are honest, we can at least say that the police have been very friendly and accommodating.
Yes.
I mean, really, the police have been very, very good.
Yeah, I should say a number of the police signed the petition for this, you know.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Because some of them don't agree with this stuff, but what can they do about it? You know, at the end of the day, they have to do what the government says.
Now, look, it's a red light. Must we stop?
I think you guys have got the road. Which street is this, Clinton?
I'm trying
This
to.
is Darling Street.
Darling Street.
Darling Street heading towards Parliament.
There's a sign for you.
Yeah, and what's the street that you're on the corner of right now?
This street.
Yeah.
I don't know what the street's name is. It's a een of ander straat. This street here ahead, where we're now coming on, is called Canterbury Street.
Okay, so we're at the corner of Darling and Canterbury Street in Cape Town, moving towards
and
Parliament.
this car is very accommodating. He's waiting here for us very patiently. Thank you. But look, what I wanted to say, I think the police really, they are very, very nice. They've
Yeah,
looked
look,
after
they
us
seem
well.
to be
They,
doing a
they,
great
they, they,
job.
they, yeah, they are not intimidating or anything like that. And maybe because they know I've got Becky Selle's number. So they're on their best behavior.
I have to say, I love these palm trees in the middle of the road. They're beautiful, aren't they?
Yes, and look at this nice jacket here.
Komiki Trup, eh? They're obviously a couple of
here's the
bikies.
palm.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Cape Town Sewing Center. Cape Town Sewing Center. We can come make you a jersey. Oh, there we go.
Is that one of the protesters?
Yes, he's a marshal.
Ah, right, okay.
Just to show your viewers, here is the castle. Yeah, this is
Oh,
the
yes.
castle of Udo.
That's the oldest building in South Africa, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. And this road is
it was built in
Harrington Street.
1670 something.
Yeah,
So,
this road is now Harrington Street.
okay.
The police office is just up here, the police station, so that's why they're so close.
Okay, right, okay.
And this is a church here.
Church of the Kingdom of God. Okay.
Universal Church. Okay, battery's on 24%, but we're fine. Yeah, I'll put it on when it gets to 20, but it's fine because Clinton's a professional, you know.
We'll just change batteries and we'll be good.
Everybody's so warm now. Scott, I'll try to see if I can ask some of the people while they're walking why they're here.
Yeah, please do. Go ahead. Ask this lady just in front of you.
Sorry, I'm from Loving Life. Scott is live here. He just wants to know why are you here today. If you can just quickly tell our viewers.
Well, my husband has a gun, and it's to have the right to have the gun for self-defense in our home.
There we go, Scott.
And he's actually, if you want a good thing, he's got lots.
This is Scott of Loving Life here from Australia. We're live. He just wants to know why are you guys here today?
Well, if they start taking away our gun rights, what's next? That's the first question you ask. And the second, with self-defense, we've got to start looking after ourselves and our families and our kids and that. And with the amount of crime that has been picking up over the year, we're the only line of defense in our family. And if they take that away, we've got no defense.
You got that, Scott?
I did. And just say to him, what does he think about Cape Town being in the top 10 crime centers or crime cities of the world?
To be honest, we don't see it much because we live in better areas than that. So the crime is not in our doorstep, but it's like anything spills over and it's going to end up at our doorstep. And then what? You can't defend yourself. You can't look after your family. What's the use? That's why there's so many people immigrating to other countries and that. I mean, South Africa is one of the best countries in the world, the beauty in that, but we have to give it up for a handful of people.
Have you thought of migrating?
No, I'm too old. I'm 55. I'm busy sitting. I've got 3 kids, 2 girls and a boy, and I'm busy sitting them up to go overseas and stay in another country. We've looked from Canada to Australia, Britain. We're busy looking now to see Italy even, to see if we can get them over that side. They'll have to live their life out of the country, but we'll stay here. We're too old to leave now.
Well, you can always go and visit them. I actually live in Australia. I'm in Brisbane in Australia. And if your children are coming to Australia, there's no better place to come to than Brisbane.
Yeah, look, the only problem we have with Australia is everybody talks about the nanny state. You know, it's many laws and regulations, and we live a good life here in South Africa. We don't do what we want to, but in binds of the law, we're still there.
Yes,
Yeah,
we're
we're
still
in the
there.
binds of the law, but you know, we don't want to be locked up doing everything we can. We like going to walk in the fields and catch crayfish and fishing and things like that. You know.
Well, we do that.
So I don't know if Australia is one of the
No.
top 2 or 3 on my list at the moment.
Well, I have to tell you that I live in Australia and we have total freedom. I can walk around at 10 o'clock
No,
at
look,
night.
I'm not arguing the point of view. I can't really, argue. I'm just seeing what I see from the. I prefer if my kids went to a place where they could feel a bit more freedom, you know.
Well,
Sorry, Scott.
I just have to say that I'm from South Africa. I came to Australia in
Yeah, I can hear in your accent. Yeah.
1986. But the freedoms in Australia are just they're better than Canada. Canada's become very, very restrictive. The USA is a complete mess. The European countries have a problem now with illegal immigrants. Australia, the big advantage it has is it's an island, and it's very strict on illegal immigration. So we have a very, very secure country, and we got a lot of freedoms. You know, we can go.
Yeah, well, that's great. I mean, I'm not. That's why I'm saying I'm not arguing the point because I've never been there.
Yeah.
So I can't. I'm just telling you what I've heard so far.
Yeah.
And where we're going to take it from here is the kids will have the choice of deciding where they want to go, not where I want them to go.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So what we're doing is we're just collecting information at the moment.
Yeah.
On all the places that would accept us as South Africans.
But it's interesting the point you raise, and I think this is really what we're talking about, is that you're an older South African, you're saying, hey, I'm too old to leave, but I'm getting my kids out of the country. I think this is a huge wake-up call to the ANC government, but they're so fast asleep they wouldn't realize what's happening with the brain drain.
You know, there was an article yesterday, I was reading it on News 24. Not that News 24 was any good, but I read the article, and the amount of people immigrating from the north, which is the Transvaal area down to Cape Town, white people now we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. They say the drain of skilled labor and skilled workmanship and all the education and that is all moving down to Cape Town anyway.
Yeah. No.
So it's like almost like a stepping stone. You come down from north to south, and then you climb on the plane or the train and move to another place.
Or the boat.
I alone know about at least about 30 people that are overseas at the moment that immigrated from South Africa. Friends that went to school with me, relatives and that have just packed up and moved across.
What do you think
about
the
numbers are getting bigger and bigger on top.
What do you think about the Cape Party and Cape Exit and secession of the Western Cape from the rest of South Africa?
You know, the biggest problem in South Africa is certain people, certain races don't stand together.
That's true.
And if they had the majority of people standing together, you know, it's like, what do? Do we vote for a party that might get us out of trouble? Or we like the DNA, they establish their large number, their opposition. And your country is only as strong as your opposition. Doesn't matter how you look at it. That's the only way to go. So it's like you've got a choice. If you choose the Cape Party, you might lose a couple of points with the DA so that they won't be the majority opposition party. And that's the worst than getting what you want almost.
Hang on. I actually have a contrary point of view. Let's stick with this fella. I have a contrary point of view on what you just said. If the DA didn't have the majority, then a group like the Cape Party, if they had the balance of power, could form an alliance with the DA on the basis that they have a referendum on the Western Cape seceding. And that would actually then open up that opportunity.
Yeah, look, I understand what you're saying in that, but it's more theory than practical. If the practical side was that, say, just for argument's sake, in my family, there's 10 of us. If 7 of us go for the Cape party and 3 for the DA, we're still splitting our numbers. There is not enough for the Cape party to take all 10. If all 10 went across, it's fine. But you can't gamble that all 10 are going to come across. So you're only going to have a small minority going across, like the last election was the exact same thing. And if they put the DA in such a position that they have to take the Cape party to join to make an alliance, it's still so much more work. They're going to still be very weak. One of them, doesn't matter if they're together, they're still going to be very weak.
But it might get the referendum. It might get to the referendum, which then would give the opportunity for the Western Cape to actually.
The magic word there that you said. The magic word that you said there is might. That's the problem.
It opens the floodgate. It does give that opportunity. It's the only way you're going to get that opportunity.
No, I'm with you 105%. I do understand what you're saying. I'm just giving you a point of view that how I'm coming to the conclusion that might not be the right decision as such.
Anyway, look, it's been lovely chatting to you.
No, thanks, and I hope it's nice and sunny there by you. It's beautiful weather here by us, even in a winter day.
Here in Brisbane, Australia, it's 8 p.m. at night. It's 8 p.m. at night here.
Sorry, say again?
It's 8 p.m. at night here. We're 8 hours ahead of you.
8 o'clock at night.
Yeah, but was it hot there today? There, Rod, your day,
beautiful day here in Australia. Yeah, always beautiful one day, perfect the next.
Yeah, sorry, Scott, we can't hear you. They're blowing the hooter here.
Yeah, it's okay.
But tell him it's nice meeting him and thanks very much.
He says it was nice meeting you and thank you very much.
Okay, tell him thank you. Maybe we'll catch up with him a bit later.
Let's go over to Tim. Tim, what do you think? How's it been going here so long? Come, Tim, give us an update.
We're just going there. I mean, so far so good. You know, the cops are being really nice.
And the turnout?
It's amazing. We have people here marching with stop farm murders and all those badges and things like that. And we pass by people on the side of the road, and the black guy shouts to us, you know, I don't support murdering anyone. So it just shows you, you know, as much as the people in charge might want it, not everybody on the ground is on board with the agenda.
Yeah,
and Firearm is probably their biggest losing agenda. Even some of their own MK guys from organizations like Gun Owners South Africa are against this gun confiscation.
Yeah.
And so it's not a winning political issue for them at all. It's one of the most unifying issues in our country. The overwhelmingly vast majority of people, outside of a few activists like Del Kirsten, support people's right to own guns. It's only the elites and a few of these Soros-paid activists like Del Kirsten countries
Tim,
oppose that.
Tim, you just mentioned the magic word, Soros. Because you know who's actually drawing up this gun legislation, don't you? It's a lady in Cape Town.
Del Kirsten's associates.
It's a lady in Cape Town who actually works for George Soros, the Open Society Foundation. They're actually drawing up a lot of the legislation that is actually put in through the parliament.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly right, Scott. And the thing is, they don't have a lot of indigenous support. Most of the people who support them are American leftists, but they have a lot of money, and money opens doors.
Yeah, especially ANC doors.
But it's interesting that when these legislative bills are drafted, no gun owners organization, no gun rights attorney is given a chance to make any changes to it. But Adele Kirsten, who represents exactly 3 rich liberal people, is given a voice. She
Yeah.
basically writes the law, and so does her sycophant there at Gun Free South Africa. And so that I would say is just something to take note of. This law was created with no input, none at all, not even a little bit, from organizations like GOSA. They were not asked to comment on it. Organizations like Saga, the South African Gun Association, weren't allowed to comment on it. But Gun Free South Africa not only commented, they essentially drafted it. So it just shows you somebody is taking a cut from somewhere, and getting a nice fat bank account and a new Mercedes.
And also disarming South Africa.
And this also disarming South Africa.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, sir, I'm from Loving Life. Scott would just like to ask, why are you here today? If you can just tell us, please. Scott, we've got the gentleman here. Say hello.
Hi there. How are you?
I'm well in here.
I'm streaming live from Australia.
Cool. Cool.
So tell us why you're here today.
I'm here because I don't want to give up my firearm. My firearm is used for my own protection. And the cops can't protect us. That is plain and simple. I'm not prepared to give up my firearm. If they make firearms illegal, they're going to make a lot of criminals out of us. So I don't think ever giving it up.
And
I will fight, walk if I have to walk every day in protest marches. I will do that.
Yeah.
Just to show them that we care about our guns. We care about our families and we care about our safety. Cops cannot protect us. That has been proven over and over again. They cannot protect us. So if they can't protect me and my family, who's going to do it?
Yeah. Are you in Cape Town?
That's correct, yes.
Have you come across any of these notorious gangs in Cape Town?
My friend, I live amongst them. I know what they are. I know what they do. I know what they're capable of. I live amongst them. Yes. Yes.
I will send you your email. I'll send you your emails.
Who's that?
I'll send you an email.
Reno. It's Reno.
Oh, Reno. Yes, I got your email. Thank you, Reno. Yes, I did.
I told you I'm going to be here.
Yeah, there you are. And Reno, I said to you that Clinton must interview you. So here we go. Now, tell me why you're here today, Reno.
Well, gun laws, of course, and we can't just not have the law, because we need to protect ourselves from if there is something gonna happen, like what happened in Angola and in Zimbabwe, where they took the guns away. They chased the people away for nothing. Anyway, I will talk to you on email.
He said he'll talk to you on email, Scott.
Okay, no problems. Good chatting to you, Reno. So
Okay,
have we arrived?
Scott, we are here at Parliament.
Okay.
Just hold on a minute, Scott. I just want to turn the camera around.
Okay.
There's Parliament.
Right, got it. Oh my gosh, here comes the Nyala.
Yeah, here comes the cavalry.
Where are they when they have an economic freedom fighters protest?
Yeah, where? Yeah, that's a very good question. Oh, here we go. Okay, they're going to do a speech now.
Okay, let's get in close and hear what they have to say.
But did you hear? He said they bring the police for us, but not for EFF. I'm going to try to get a little bit closer. I just need the power bank. Huh?
Okay.
Batteries on 17%.
Okay.
Look at the lovely church.
Oh, isn't it beautiful?
Yeah.
Can we point up a little bit higher? That's better.
Sorry, Scott, just sorting out the power bank.
Oh, okay, no props. Sorry.
Battery actually lasted quite well.
It did. Have you put the new battery in?
Yes, it's
Oh,
on
well
the power
done.
bank now.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, because I'm a professional, you know.
Oh, yeah, look, I know that. I know that, mate. Look, you and I have done several live streams, so yeah, I know that.
All I now need is those big cameras, you know, of the SABC, and then I'll really be professional.
Now, where's the speaker going to be talking from?
It looks like it's going to be over there, straight ahead of us. I'm just going to see if I can try to get a little bit closer.
Yeah, see if you can.
Okay, I just want to show this for you.
Oh, foot sick. Love it. Yeah.
Two.
Yeah, Scott, I'm just trying to get us as close to the speaker as possible.
Yeah, no problems. That's where you are now looks pretty good.
Uncle Scott, I'm very camera shy, you know, that's why I didn't say much thing. So I will talk to you on. I took enough videos, eh? It's Reno speaking.
Oh, Reno, good on you, buddy. Look, just send them all to me by email, and I'll put them up.
Social distance.
Wow, that is one heck of a church, isn't it?
No. Other people can move. You need to be where.
Yeah. Scott, do you see the lovely Table Mountain there?
I do, and I see where the cable car goes up at the top, right at the end.
Yeah. And here's the Parliament just behind us. There's our flags at half. The flags in South Africa are at half mast for that Charlene 30 reaches, as far as I remember.
Yes.
Well, tell us about that, Clinton.
That Charlene 30 reaches, the actress. I think that's why the flags are at half mast.
Oh, she died, did she?
Feel second, man.
Feel a second, you know.
Italian.
Hi, Scott.
Hi. Is that
How are
Debbie? Hi,
Yes,
Debbie.
it's me.
How are you?
I'm okay. Thank you.
Good. I love your sign.
Thank you. Me too. It's fanning me off.
And I finally meet Debbie after many times after speaking just with her on a WhatsApp.
Okay.
Clinton, send me the number. Criminal. As you see, Scott, there's quite a good turnout here. Oh, you changed your jacket. Scott, can you hear?
I can hear you, yeah.
Okay, no, we are just waiting for the speaker to start.
Yeah, no, that's fine. We'll just mingle in with the crowd and just get the sort of feeling of what's happening. That's perfect. I see Neil De Beer is still hanging around.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Praatbekers, Loving Life.
It's Scott from Loving. Scott, we've got a gentleman here from Saga. If you would like to just greet him quickly.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, good day. I'm Damien Henson. I'm the chairperson of Saga, the South African Gun Owners Association.
Guys,
Right. Can we just see this fellow? Oh, there we are. Hi. Now, what are your views on this totally ridiculous law that they're
Absolutely.
bringing up?
We object to the whole bill completely. It's a draconian bill. Absolutely crazy. So Saga believes in the rights of firearm owners, law-abiding citizens to choose to own a firearm for self-defense.
or sport shooting purpose or hunting purpose or collecting. And we are objecting to the entire bill, and we're going to be making serious submissions against the entire bill.
Right. Now, look, I would like to open an invitation to you. You're the president of Saga.
I'm the chairperson.
Yeah, chairperson. I would love to have you on a live stream on my channel.
Sure.
We have them at 8 p.m. every night. And perhaps in June sometime. Have you got a pen and paper?
You've got a pen and paper?
Yes.
And if you,
Scott, I can give him your email address.
Yeah,
and
next week,
yes,
your email address,
I will give him all the details, Scott.
Okay, yeah, if you can send me an email, and we'll set up a night to have you on to discuss this ridiculous regulation that the ANC want to bring in.
Yeah. Thank you, Scott. We'll talk soon.
Okay, Scott, they're going to start now, huh?
Okay.
Yes. Oh, hello, Carol. Thank you. Hello, sir. This is Scott from Loving Life in Australia. You live? Can you just tell us maybe why you are here, please?
Well, good day. I'm here in support of. Should I start?
As we go around,
yes, you can start.
Straight out.
Today, in support of.
I know that you might have different ideas and beliefs about what's going on, but please just straight out so that we can make our message
that is not for the people.
Have some social
that is for the government itself.
Between us.
But
I personally
don't agree with most of the rules and legislation, especially the constitution that has been done over by or written over by cabinet or amended. That is not for the people. It's everything but for the people. It's for then agenda that they are busy with. And people need to wake up before they find themselves in a communist country. And there's no other way to say it. People, you need to start waking up. Things are getting out of hand. Mainstream media is suppressing most of these news that's being put out there in order for us.
All right, welcome everybody.
For now,
is everybody here?
Enough said. I need to.
All right, Scott, we gain here now.
Okay, no problem.
My name is Keenan. Yeah, I've got cool parents again, so the cool name. My name is Keenan. We're here for one reason and one reason. When I say hashtag, you must say leave our guns alone. Hashtag
leave our guns alone.
Hashtag
leave our.
Never forget the hashtag, right? Don't Facebook.
Your sound is very low, Clinton.
And hashtag
leave our guns alone.
What's wrong with the sound?
Make an assumption.
That's better now. That's better now.
I'm going to make an assumption. Some of these assumptions are obvious, but the first assumption I'm making is that I'm black. Yeah, you can laugh. Yeah, black is beautiful. The other assumption I'm going to make is that the other people here who are white. Yeah. I'm going to make an assumption that there are males here. There are men, right? I'm going to make an assumption that there are women here. I'm going to make an assumption that there are firearm owners here. I'm going to make an assumption that there are people who do not own firearms who are here. And I'm going to make this certain point. It's not an assumption that we're all South Africans. We're all South Africans. But today we stand with one cause. With all our differences, there is one thing that brings us together. It is that we are South African and that we want our guns to be left alone.
Is the sound.
Load shedding in South Africa. Scott, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. Just watching.
No, they say there's a load shedding in South Africa. No, there's just some technical issues. You can.
Hashtag leave it alone. Hashtag leave it alone.
There we go.
Come on, I was louder than you guys. Okay. That was not load shedding, by the way. We're going to start off and ask Neil de Beer to come up front. He is the president of the UIM. Neil de Beer, the stage is yours, brother.
I think we are the only country that when load shedding comes, we take out a Weber immediately. We are trained for this. First and foremostly, today is not a political day. Today there are different political dominations, different political parties and present here. Today is not our day, but we recognize that politics plays a big role. I'm here today because a great man called Brent, the leader of Right to Freedom, asked me to be here today. Mornay and these gentlemen, and then a great lady who's also here, Debbie Els from Stop Farm Murder Organization. Thank you very much. I'm here because of that. I know some of you, we met at Brackenfell, where we stood our ground, and we knew why we were standing that day there. We were standing there because only one reason. Someone threatened our children at Brackenfell. We didn't go to Brackenfell because we needed to make a political statement. Ons het so toe gegaan want hulle het ons kinders gedreig. And that was it. Anybody that came there to make another statement came there to get points. We are not here to make points today. We are here to stand up and tell the world that it is our constitutional right, standing in front of this parliament, that we have the right to bear an arm if it is licensed and it is ours. Nou wragtig begin ons nou vir mense te sê ons mag nie wapens dra wat wettig is nie. Nou Mr. Bekkie Cele, Bekkie, stoeltjie, tafeltjie, Cele. Mamela, jy met jou hoed. I know you.
Shladi Mutsuning. Tell him it's Shladi Mutsuning.
Malema. You assault police officers. Jy het 'n polisieman gedoner. En jy's nog nie in die tronk nie. You said that you will come to the home of policemen when they are off duty and you will murder them. Now we are surrounded by police here today that also bear arms. The police must understand he threatened you, not us. And it's funny, when the police need help, it will be the citizens of this country that will come and help you, not the criminals. It's us. Now hear me well. I'm a war veteran. Where's our man from Right to Freedom, Jordi, where's he? He's a war veteran. Any war veterans here, no matter what side you fought, put up your hand, war veteran. We carried a uniform. We carried a rank. Ons weet wat maak jy met 'n geweer. Jy gaan nie in 'n nagklub en skiet mense dood nie. Jy hou jou veiligheid van jou familie. A normal citizen in this country takes 5 to 8 months to get a licensed firearm in your home, and a gangster takes it in a minute. Now I'm here to address 3 things about this proposal to amend our gun law. Number 1, you go through a competency, you go through a firearms test, you go shoot at a shooting range, they demand that you have a safe in your house, and you go through a process before we can get our firearm. We know how to handle it. Now you are telling us it's us that caused the murders in this country because they steal our guns. How many police guns have been stolen? I asked that question in the meantime. Want hulle skiet ons kinders dood met 'n R5 en 'n R4. Waar kry hulle 'n R4 en 'n R5? Where do they get these machine guns? Number 2, You take a citizen's guns away, who's next? The security companies are the next target to take their guns away. They're already starting. And thirdly, we are not in a country where it is safe. We have to admit that black and white should stop calling each other black and white, but should start calling each other South Africans first. We are South Africans. Because like white and black and indigenous people of this country, the Khoisan, the San, the Indabele, the Xhosa, Itiko, Kaunomslanze is Kansonso. Uzaletemba, Ufak, Utasha, Unyelze. I come from that culture. Today it's not an attack on race, today it is an attack on black and white's right to defend our family. So Debbie, when they kill a farmer, they're killing an individual, but they're taking food away. Julle maak kos dood. You are killing food, you are not killing an individual. And number two, law and order, and this is my last point, Debbie. Brent, my last point on this public platform, but not the last time in Parliament, I can tell you that. Volgende keer staan ons nie hierdie kant van die hekkie, ek sit daar. Ons gaan daar sit, en dan gaan ons reëls maak. Want die reël is fair. Uphold the Constitution, fight for the right of our children, and stand in defense of the right of freedom of speech, association, and getting together as a nation, once and for all. Take it now, take the key, Debbie. Thank you for what you are doing, Brent. It's funny, in conclusion, it's the biker that gets the bad name, but it's the biker that brings us salvation today. So up to the bikers of this country. Allah, 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 Allah. To the rest of the day, may God bless you. Just one thing. Ek staan al vir 30 jaar since I worked for Mandela that side. Jawel. Hierdie naam is verkeerd. Ek kyk nou, daar was hy. Julle nie 'n Louis Botha in die geskiedenis nie. It should be Louis Botha. Ons moet daai vee krap en 'n u terug sit. Ons kan nie eens spel nie, maar ons wil die land se wette verander. Amen. May God bless you and may God bless South Africa. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Realize that I'm only the MC, right? There's so much I can say, but I'm not going to say it. My job is just to stand here and call people up. So the next person I'm calling up now is Damien Enslen. Damien Enslen, everybody, this is an important man. He's the chairperson of SAGA, the chairperson of South African Gun Owners Association. Everybody, please give him a round of applause.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you to Brent for Ride to Freedom. Thank you very much for the invitation. So I'm the chairperson of the South African Gun Owners Association, SAGA, and we believe in the right of lawful, law-abiding citizens, the right to choose to own a firearm for self-defense, for sport shooting purposes, for hunting, for collecting, or for business purposes. And what this bill seeks to do is to change all of that, take away the right for you to choose to own a firearm for self-defense, to protect yourself and your family from the criminals of South Africa. You also are losing the right for sport shooting as well. So we mustn't forget about the sport shooters are going to be affected by this bill. And the sport shooters create a huge industry within South Africa. There are many people that are employed in this industry in South Africa with regards to dealerships, regards to sport shooting activities. All of those people will be affected by this bill. Not to say also about hunting. Hunters bring millions of rands, billions of rands to South Africa on a regular basis. They help to contribute to the society. They help to contribute to the villages out there that support the hunters. And if the hunters will lose the opportunity to hunt, not only that, the people that support those hunters will lose their livelihoods as well. We mustn't forget that this bill is affecting not just ordinary South Africans and your right to choose a firearm for self-defense, but also it affects hunters, sport shooters, and even collectors who hold the cultural history of South Africa in their hands, because our museums can no longer protect that right, and can no longer protect that cultural heritage. Collectors are the ones that are now protecting that heritage and keeping those traditional firearms safe. And all cultures within South Africa use firearms. Look at the Zulu wars. Firearms were used on the Zulus, by the Zulus as well, against the English effectively. So it's not just Boers that use firearms, not just the English that use firearms. Everyone in our history, going back to the Basotho, who successfully defended themselves against the English in the 1880s and kept their firearm rights. So it's not just about self-defense, or that is obviously a pressing right and something we should all protect. It's also about collectors as well. And if collectors lose their right to collect, that cultural heritage is gone forever and lost to us as South Africans. Also, don't forget about the businesses. There was mention about security companies. There are many firearm businesses that are going to be affected by this bill. So we're not just looking at security companies and reduction and the type of firearms they can own with regards to not owning semi-automatic rifles and having to defend themselves against fully automatic AK-47s. It's also the other businesses out there. There are corporate businesses out there that use firearms on a regular basis for fun events, for corporate shooting events. Those persons and those industries are also affected about this bill. So it's across the board. This bill is affecting the whole of South Africa and affecting all of us for our right to choose to own a firearm for whatever purposes we need. The biggest issue with this bill is the fact that government has not sought to deal with the stakeholders, with the role players. They have not spoken to us about this bill. They said in the bill they have, but they have not spoken to our gun rights organizations such as SAGA and GOSA and all the other organizations. They have not consulted us. And the democracy is you're meant to consult with the people. They have not consulted with us. They have pushed this bill through without talking to us about it. And we are the people that are involved in the industries, involved in the different organizations that can help the police and help government to effectively combat crime and combat illegal firearms. The focus here again is on soft targets, the law-abiding citizens, and not illegal firearms. What is government doing about tackling illegal firearms? Where are all those special task force units we used to have that would tackle issues like this, like illegal firearms? The bill has changed from the perspective of keeping legal firearms out of the hands of criminals to focusing on us as law-abiding citizens. And that is wrong, and that is not right. And we should fight for our rights and continue to fight for our rights to ensure that all rights of citizens, law-abiding citizens, whether they choose to own a firearm for self-defense, choose to own a firearm for hunting purposes, for sport shooting purposes, for collecting, or for businesses, that right is protected. So I call on all of you here and all of South Africa to join and unite against this bill to ensure that our rights are enshrined and entrenched, and that we can ensure that the police are doing their job correctly and help the police do their job correctly to combat illegal firearms and combat the criminals out there. Thank you very much. Thank you to Brent again, to Right to Freedom. Thank you for the opportunity. And God bless South Africa, and God bless all South Africans who wish to choose to own a firearm for whatever purpose. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, thanks, Damien. Wow, we just got schooled, right? Yeah, we thought it was just about the firearms that protect us, but yeah, this problem is much bigger than we thought. I'm gonna test you guys again. Hashtag. Hashtag. All right, Debbie Els, we're going to invite you onto stage right now. Debbie Els supports the farmers like no other, and we support her for that. Yeah. See, I just supported her now. Thanks, Debbie.
Thank you. Yo, Mensa, I am so proud of you all. I thank you, especially to the Right to Freedom. Brent, we've come a very long way since last year when lockdown started. Brent and myself, hi, Advocate Sabelo. This is our domain, this, Brent. And nobody can take Parliament away from us. Guys, the reason why we are here today, the government wants to take away our rights to protect ourselves. Now, I am here for the farmers. Up until yesterday, there was a farm attack. There's a farm attack every day. There's farm murders every second day. And it has to stop. Can you imagine what is going to happen when government passes this bill and our farmers cannot protect ourselves. They cannot be without a weapon. Our women, there is so much gender-based violence also. They cannot go without being protected. So I don't know where Becky Taylor, he was useless as a commission police. Now he's the Minister of Police, and he's 10 times useless. He's cut the budget of the police. Okay, guys, you're not going to get increases for the next 3 years. But you serve this man, and you go against the public. The people that are defending you. I went to court yesterday, last year, because Malema threatened your family's life. But you know what? You guys, you gun me because I'm protecting you. You've made an oath to protect the people of South Africa, not the politicians. They work for us. We pay their salaries. We voted them in. Well, not me, but we voted the politicians in. And it's about time that we stand up and fight for our freedom, our liberty, and our rights. We are not going to allow them to take away our protection and our self-defense. I'm sorry. Over my dead body, I will not allow it. Even if I have to stand alone and fight this alone, I will do so. Even if the cops are going to keep on terrorizing and intimidating me because I stand up for my rights and for the people of South Africa, then they must do so. I've been arrested, I don't know how many times, for stupid things. Because you know why, guys? The truth hurts. And the government is not going to succeed with the tyranny that they are causing the people of South Africa. We need to stand up now. We cannot sit down and watch other people fight your battles for you. You need to help us to fight for you. You have to do that. No more keyboard warrior. We cannot allow them to pass this bill because it will be an invitation to the criminals and the terrorists to come and kill us off. Then we might as well just say, here we are, guys, come and kill us, because that is what our government is doing now. They are telling the criminals, you have an open door to do this, because come on, guys, the police, thank you, you are doing a good job. There are some good policemen out there, but there are also some heavy corrupt police out there. And we need all to stand together. And I thank each and every police officer that is here today protecting the people. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I salute you guys. Let's give them a round of applause, guys. Thank you. Remember, guys, you took an oath to protect the people of South Africa. You have families as well. The government is not going to be there always to protect your family. You're going to need to do it yourself. And if you are not armed and you don't have that right to arm, it's nach. So people, hashtag. Awesome. Thank you, Brent.
Thank you very much, Debbie. Guys, we're not just saying hashtag leave our guns alone for fun, right? Please go onto Facebook and find hashtag leave our guns alone. That's where everybody is. Remember what I said at the beginning, we may be different, but we've got the same cause. This has got nothing to do with only bikers, car clubs, truckers, police officers. We're all South Africans. South Africans right now are saying hashtag leave our guns alone. All this information that you've heard here today and much more will be on that Facebook page. Hashtag. Oh, yeah. At this moment, we're going to have Brent van der Westhuizen, who is the Director of Right to Freedom. He's going to come up front to make a declaration statement from a Right to Freedom. And then afterwards, I will not come up again. I will let him continue with doing the memorandum handover. Everybody give Brent a round of applause.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm not one for speeches, and I'm not going to give you a big, long sing-song. We're here for one reason, and that's to stop this new amendment. It doesn't make sense. It's not logical. Obviously, we're being overridden by crime. The police are battling to control the criminals. And they think, the government thinks the answer to that is to take away the legal firearms. Doesn't make sense, isn't logical. We're not going to let it happen. It's that simple. We have a declaration here from Right to Freedom, which I'm going to read to you guys. First of all, we believe in freedom. We believe in values, especially those of choice and liberty to choose. We believe in promoting the best in humanity. We bikers, of course. We believe that evil exists and that evil things are done by evil people. And we all know there's plenty of them in this country. We believe that we as Right to Freedom oppose and fight against the evil acts committed in society. This is something we've always stood for, something we've always believed in. We believe in the right to self-defense. We believe in the right to self-defense. We believe in the right to own a firearm for the purpose of self-defense. We believe that anyone that wants to remove that right, wants to take away that right, freedom of self-defense as well as the freedom to choose. We believe we have the right to defend our right to own firearms for the purpose of self-defense. And we will use every patriotic avenue to maintain that right. We don't want to go against the law, guys. We want to go with the law. We want to have legal firearms. I don't carry a firearm, but I feel pretty good that I know there's some good citizens out there that do. We oppose this intention with the contempt it deserves. And here today, we show our contempt. We welcome for the encouragement from our Police Minister, Beke Sele, to give our public comment with regards to this bill and declare that we will expect him to take our concerns seriously and understand the following. That we will not stop taking action under our current constitution to stop this proposed change, which takes away our right to own a firearm for the purpose of self-defense. It doesn't stop here. Today is the beginning. It's the start of the fight. This is not going to change anything, what we are doing here today. But hopefully this will be the spark that starts an inferno. That we will pursue any and every legal avenue, including the highest court in the country, to seek relief from the government's intentions in so required. That we petition the government to include our right to protect our lives in the current Bill of Rights. We have the right to protect ourselves. Unless the government can guarantee us that we are safe, 100% safe, in this town, in this country, in our homes and in our beds, they have no right to take away our firearms. All right, lastly, that we see the future approval of this bill in its current form as an act of war against the civilians. Act of war against abiding citizens of South Africa. They do not have the manpower to disarm the criminals. They do not have the ability to disarm the criminals. So at the end of the day, only the criminals will have weapons. What do I do when the criminals walk into my house? What do I do when I've been unarmed? We declare that South Africa can only achieve its full future potential with a citizenry that are free to own firearms for the purpose of self-defense. Guys, we are not giving up our firearms. We are not giving up our firearms. We have Mr. J.P. Smith here. He's got... Mr. Smith, if you can come up, please. I'm fucking homeless. Somebody please control it, man. Sorry, man. We have a memorandum that we'd like to hand over. We're going to hand it over to Mr. Smith. They are with us on this. They are not the ones pushing this bill. In fact, they are contesting it. But to get this memorandum to where we want it, those other fools wouldn't come take it. So we're giving it to a man that's standing up for us, and a man that will get it into Parliament.
Morning, everyone. Order. So I wear two hats here this morning. On the one hat, can I say that I've discussed this extensively with my colleagues. Andrew Whitfield has made the DA's position on this abundantly clear. As with many others in Parliament, we are opposing this. We think it's a fundamental problem. If the police are not in a position to protect its citizenry, and you then deny or deprive the public of the position they have or the opportunity they have now to effect that self-defense. The police budget is being significantly decreased over the next 3 years. As difficult and challenging as our crime situation is now, it is unlikely to get better. It is likely to get worse. Regan Allen, who was meant to be here to receive this, he was under the impression that this is happening at 2 o'clock, so I was given about 15 minutes warning to be here, said to me that he has invited me to participate in the Gun Summit on Tuesday. We hope that that will be the largest virtual summit to discuss this matter, and we are trying to mobilize people around this issue as well. It cannot be that when the government completely fails to protect its citizens, when our crime and murder rate is as it is, that we then take further steps to deny people that little or limited opportunity to defend themselves. So that can't be. So the other hat I'm wearing here is from the city of Cape Town. And I want to tell you, I have the privilege of working with Metro Police often. I have the privilege of seeing the statistics that the Gang and Drug Task Team and others generate and the arrests they make. And I also have the opportunity to see how many of the firearms that we're confiscating are firearms that have been handed in to the police for destruction or have been confiscated. That is a serious crisis. That's also a matter of public record now. And I am not suggesting that any of the officers here are part of that. But it only takes a few rotten apples and saps to make that possible, as we've seen with the sale of firearms and those that have already served but a sliver of their sentence and are back out on freedom now after selling guns to gangsters. So unfortunately, I do not believe that the surrendering of your firearms is a safe thing to do. I think that the surrendering of that firearms puts in the hands of gangsters a whole lot more firearms that will do a great deal more harm to people across parts of our city who are the most vulnerable. People I was walking with neighborhood watchers last night in Hanover Park with. So I want to say you cannot consider supporting this legislation. It's lunacy. And I want to say that if you are a member of Parliament and you are thinking of voting for this legislation, you must never again ask for the PPU to come and protect you. You must never again expect armed protection, as Minister Cele rides with, when you have 30 guards around you that are armed, when you expect the citizens to be without that protection. Then walk with people without firearms, and let's see how confident you then feel in the work you do. It cannot be that you increase the VIP budget, but you take away the general policing budget. And worse, that you make, as we discovered now, that you make TRT spend their time doing VIP protection when we've got crises everywhere and gang violence rolling across our suburbs. That's just a disgrace. And I'm not attacking the police. There are many, many good people in SAPS desperately trying to do the best they can. But they are being so badly served by those people in charge and those ones calling the political shots. So I will receive this. I will hand this to Andrew Whitfield, and you have my full support. I was with Gideon and others from Paratus and Gosa a couple of weeks ago at False Bay Shooting Club. And I think our position has been clearly stated. We're trying to mobilize as many people as you can. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Smith. All right, guys, we've obviously come to the end of our speeches. We were expecting a bigger crowd, but obviously with COVID regulations, everybody's scared. We're at level 3, and obviously threats were made to arrest if the crowd was bigger than pretty much what we got. So it probably turned out for the best. We didn't want any violence. We didn't want to give the police a hard time. I think they've got enough on their hands. We're here for a reason, and we've stated our case. Right to Freedom has always been there to fight for the people. We are freedom fighters. That is the bottom line. On the 9th of August, Bikers United will do a national ride, and we will bring this up again. We will ride against this amendment. We will ride against corruption. Corruption is our mandate. Everything that happens goes straight back to corruption. If we get rid of corruption, we'll get rid of 90% of the problems we're having. We need to get rid of this corrupt government. That is the bottom line. Thank you for coming. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe, people.
Thank you, everybody. Just the last few things before we disperse. Let me first thank everybody for coming here, for being orderly. And I mean, look at the time. We're supposed to finish at 3 p.m., but look how efficient we are, huh? We've done everything we needed to do. Everything we needed to do. Thank you, everybody. Congratulations. I'd like to thank Metro Police, law enforcement, staff, traffic services for assisting us with the proceedings of the day. All coordinated by the City of Cape Town. I want to thank our strategic partners. You think that you're standing here alone, you're not standing here alone. There are lots of strategic partners to help us make this possible. All the speakers who came out today. I want to thank you. Talking about Neil De Beer, Damien Ensland, Debbie Els, JP Smith, and of course our very own Brent van der Westhuizen. I want to thank the marshals who assisted everybody that you see wearing a bib. Just, say thanks to them because they helped us, make this all as efficient as possible. And last but not least, I want to thank RTF, which is Right to Freedom, for organizing this event. Guys, remember that we're all South Africans. Yeah, give yourselves a round of applause. We're all South Africans. You can do this in your neighborhood tomorrow. You don't have to wait for us. Right to Freedom didn't have to wait for anybody else to come and do this. So, this is a national bill, guys. This is not just Western Cape. This is not Cape Town. If you've got friends, family, anywhere else around the country, inform them as well. About hashtag? You guys are a bit slow. Hashtag? Yeah. Everybody, have a great day. Let's walk safely back to the starting point. All right, and let me just tell you the route back is not the same way we came. It is down this way.
Scott,
so
are you there?
Go straight down.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Then go left at Roland and then across the report there.
We just maybe will hang around here just to see if there's any lost people. Maybe we can quickly get an interview with.
Sure.
Where's our people that we are with? No, we just want to get our people here. Scott, how was the sound? Did you guys get the speech and everything?
Yeah, the sound was great. Thanks, Clinton. Very good.
So what did you think? Tell Scott. Let's put you over here.
Hi, Scott.
Hi.
I'm Laween.
Hi, Laween. Good to meet you.
No, nice to meet you too. We are here to make a difference, huh?
Yeah.
And we're going to do it. We just need the people to stand together, and we must. Don't be scared. We can do it.
Absolutely. Are you a Cape Townian?
We're actually from the Southern Cape and also the Boland. And we're helping the people to protect themselves and to fight and to do the exercises and get fit and to defend themselves. We're from the foodie group, yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Oh,
remember, Scott, Laween was our driver, the one in the car.
Yes, of course I do. Yeah. But I just wondered where she was from.
Where are you from?
We're from Gouritsmond, a small little town in the Southern Cape.
Gouritsmond. That's where Dr. Theron was from. Do you remember Dr. Theron?
Yes, it can be. I'm not so good at my history. I didn't take history at school.
Dr. Theron lived at Gouritsmond, and he was the one of the top South African token coin collectors back in the 1960s,
Okay,
1970s.
nice
So
to know.
it's way before your time, I know.
We just need them to start standing up,
Yeah.
even if they are older than all of us,
Yeah.
to know that they can also make a difference. Like, we believe the older people can make a huge difference in our country.
Absolutely. Well, the older people remember what the country used to be like.
Need to stand up because they're older than us, and I think they can't protect themselves, but we can help them to protect themselves.
Thank you very much, Naveen. We're going to quickly cross over to Debbie out. Debbie, what was your thoughts of today?
It's a doggy.
With the little
Short
doggy.
Hi, Scott.
Hi, Debbie.
Hi to the yeah, we had a nice outcome. Not big, but it's understandable. We were warned, not more than 100. We didn't want to go against the COVID regulations now. Because we needed to come and make our statement. We've got a lot of leaders here that made these statements, and yeah, I just want to make a call out to the South African people. Guys, if ever this was the time, it is now. You have to stand unite now, and you need to fight us with us this fight, because we cannot allow them to take our guns away. We cannot allow them to take our freedom away, and we need to stand up. Please, I am begging you guys, you need to do this, because every day a farmer is being attacked. Can you imagine what is going to happen when they take the guns away? Then you might as well just say, leave your doors open. What's going to be next? Are they going to tell us to take the burglar bars off? Are they going to tell us that we only allowed one dog per house? The alarm systems must go? No, guys. Enough is enough. We've had it. If it takes me to stand alone to fight this government, I will do so. But I need your help, guys, please. I love you all. Thank you, Scott, for everything you're doing. Love you.
There we go. Thank you very much, Debbie. Okay, Scott, and then we're going to quickly get to here from here.
I just want to say I'm really proud of all the people that was here. Francois and Smilde, JP, who got the memorandum. I think something good's going to happen.
I hope so.
Thank you so much for this as well.
And
Thank you for
Rhino, I
covering
look forward
this.
to getting those videos.
Bad at the moment because why nobody was representing the industry where I think Sira is not our industry. Sira is the regulator of our industry, and they don't care for us.
Clinton, I think you've got your finger on the audio.
Couple the size of the SAPS in South Africa. So we are here to raise our voice today, but thank you, Scott, for wonderful work you've been done in South Africa.
Thank you.
Sorry, Scott, what did you say?
I think you had your finger on the little audio thing because it was very muffled as
Oh,
part of that.
so.
Yeah. But it's okay.
Sorry.
It was a good call.
Scott, I just want to get from Tim any last words, Tim,
Sure.
or what's happened today.
We came, we saw, and hopefully we conquered something. At least a little bit of our rights.
Fantastic. Well, Tim, look, your input was really your input was really good.
Hi, Scott. Hi, South Africa.
Hi.
All of us here can make a difference by just raising our voices and getting together. If you look what's going on around the world, it's evident that the patriots of each country are starting to take their stand. And I'm calling to all the patriots, all the veterans, all of those that have served with us in the SADF, SANDF, doesn't matter where you served, get up, come and join us with this initiative. Because none of us that are trained in firearms will ever go into any place and shoot people with a firearm or do a cash in transit heist or anything like that. We are only there to protect ourselves, our children, and our elders. And if they're going to touch our children in any way, we will not hesitate to show them the wrath of God that's in us. So it's a warning to them and to this government. You are puny. You're not fit for purpose. And we command you guys to adhere to our instructions. And that is what we're going to do as the residents and citizens of this country. We are citizens and we are out of uniform but we can also act as though we are in uniform. So the people must realize what powers they have as a citizen of this country, and not to square and hide away about all these little threats and bullies that these guys are doing on the political front to us. Enough's enough. We speak to the uneducated to get themselves educated. Because if you're educated and you're well read and you've done your research about what you are and what's going on around us in this environment, we won't have this problem. If we stop the corruption in this country, we will stop all this violence and all this crap going on around. And I'm warning you, Mr. Malema, try our kids on Monday. We know who you are. We see everything.
There we go. Thank you.
Wow.
Scott.
Have we finished the lineup, have we?
Yeah, Scott, I'm going to leave you with this beautiful picture now of Table Mountain. I think that's the end of it now, and I want to say thank you very much to Tim for all his positive input and everything he said today. Thank you also to our drivers, and I'm going to leave you guys with this beautiful picture of Table Mountain there.
Absolutely beautiful. And Clinton, I want to say thank you so much for being our citizen reporter today. You've done an amazing job as usual. And
thank you.
We look forward to keeping in touch and having you back again. But look, have a
absolutely
have a great day, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Okay, thank you very much, Scott. I'm gonna end the connection now. Thank you. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, Scott.
Okay, thanks so much, Clinton. Take care. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Okay, guys, there you go. That was the coverage of the event in Cape Town. Well, we've been going for just over 3 hours, so we certainly got a lot of footage there and some very interesting interviews and discussions. Don't forget, at 8 p.m. tonight, Johannesburg time, I will be talking to Roel Leach about cryptocurrencies, of all things. And it's a very interesting time for cryptocurrencies. And if you want to find out more about what is Bitcoin and all this sort of stuff, join us at 8 p.m. tonight, Johannesburg time. And tomorrow night, Sunday night, I'm going to be speaking to Mark Oppenheimer. Yeah, I'm talking about Mark Oppenheimer. And we have a very interesting discussion lined up, but that'll be something that we'll promote on Sunday morning. So you're just going to have to register on or subscribe to Loving Life to be kept informed, and register on our new platform, which is going to be the biggest online news network covering South Africa. We've already got something like 17 contributing YouTube video channels who've joined us. And we have our own forum with articles going up every day about South Africa. It's a huge news source, lovinglifetv.com. And if you just replay this video, you'll see it as a banner below most of the video that's been playing today. Please register there, join us. It is the future, because we're not censored by big tech on our own platform, which has been the problem we faced in the past. All right, guys, I'm ready for time to go to bed because I've got to get up at 2:30 in the morning. And right now it's 9 o'clock in the evening here in Brisbane, Australia. So that means in 5 hours' time, I got to get up again because I have the live stream with Roel and Bitcoin. So please have a great evening, and have a you gotta love time zones, let me put it that way. Have a great day, and I'll see you tonight 8 p.m. Johannesburg time on Loving Life, or you can go to lovinglifetv.com and join us live there as well. Take care, and I'll leave the live stream open I'll leave the side chat open for a few minutes so that you can say your goodbyes to friends and family who might be sharing this live stream with you. Bye for now.